The following is a presentation of Tonganoxie Sports Live. It's time for the Chieftains. On your new home for Tonganoxie High School athletics, Tonganoxie Sports Live. Tonganoxie Sports Live is presented by Kansas Insurance, locally owned and operated. Learn more at kansasins.com. Also by It's time for the Chieftains, right here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Beatty Field at Tonganoxie High School for Week 2 action as the Chieftains open up Frontier League play against the defending league champs, Spring Hill Broncos. Welcome into the booth, everybody. Dylan Funk here, my partner Dennis Strainer, recovering from back surgery earlier today. Rest up, partner, and we will see you next week in Chanute. So I will be taking over tonight. We have a great matchup and anticipating a great matchup tonight between the Chieftains and the Broncos. The Chieftains for the second season in a row, dropping the season opener to Baser Linwood. Lost last week 47-42. And before we go any further, I do want to apologize again, everybody. The Wi-Fi last week, really tough situation. It was out of our control. Very poor quality. We understand. We apologize, but we're expecting a much better performance and a much better broadcast tonight here as we are here, the home opener here at Beatty Field in our hometown press box. So good news from there, but we move on to the recap of the game last week, and obviously the big storyline coming out of that, the close loss to Baser. It was a play here and there for the Chieftains, but it really comes down to the key losses that the Chieftains suffered. Right on the opening drive, quarterback Trevor McGraw went 0 for 2, threw an interception to Mason Morgan, the Baser defender. Looked like it was going to be an easy pick six. Trevor chased him down, knocked him out, lowered the right shoulder, knocked him out the 1 yard line, ended up breaking his collarbone. In the process, I just spoke to one of his family members up here in the press box. He had surgery on it today, and he is here, so he is out of surgery, doing well, in good spirits. He will be on the sideline tonight, but out for the season. So can confirm Trevor McGraw will not return for his junior campaign. Rest up easy, young man. We will see you on the baseball field in spring and ready to take the football field for his senior year next year. Then the other player that went down, two-way star Tyler Pankey, went down with a knee injury, out indefinitely. No word yet on the severity of the knee injury. Pankey is here as well. He's got his jersey on. He's in regular just cargo shorts. He's got a brace on that right knee, walking around a little gingerly. You could tell it's aggravating him. But again, no word on the extent of the injury, if there's any tears, any sprains. We do not know yet, but all we do know is he is out indefinitely, so the Chieftains will have to recover from that and take on another platooning squad in the Spring Hill Broncos, and we'll break down that matchup and plenty of more here as we're approaching 15 minutes left until kickoff of the home opener here at Beatty Field. You're watching the Chieftain Sports Network, Tonganoxie Sports Live.
For a winning team, contact White Birch Properties, the real estate MVPs.
Shop local and save at Brothers Market in Tonganoxie, where we treat you like family. Brothers Market has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy fresh cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need. From apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Brothers Market, open daily. Learn more at shopbrothersmarket.com.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Farm Bureau agents Tex Vandervoort and Jerry Sanders in Tonganoxie today.
With the First State Bank and Trust mobile app, you can bank from anywhere. Check your balance while you're waiting in line here, or transfer funds while you're here. Forget to pay that bill? Pay it from here. Don't cut your visit short to go to the bank. Make your deposit from here. And remember, you're always welcome to bank right here. Did you know First State Bank and Trust has donated over $112,000 to Tonganoxie schools? Every time you swipe your Tonganoxie Chieftain debit card, we donate. For more information, visit us at firststateks.com. Member FDIC.
You're watching the SNS Body pregame show here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. Let's get into some area matchups and then the starting lineups for both the Chieftains and the Broncos. The area matchups tonight, let's get all around the Class 4A action. Blue Valley Southwest will be taking on Bishop BA, St. James Academy, the defending 4A champs, on the road against Blue Valley. St. Thomas Aquinas, new 4A newcomer, on the road against Blue Valley Northwest. Last week's opponents, Baser Linwood, the Bobcats on the road against Piper, taking on the Pirates at home. Should be a great matchup there to keep an eye on. Washburn Rural on the road, home opener for the season against the Wildcats of DeSoto. Lansing versus Shawnee Heights. And into the Frontier League, Bonner Springs versus Eudora. You got the matchup here, Tonganoxie and Spring Hill. Lewisburg versus Paola, and then Baldwin versus Ottawa. So there's your around the area matchups. I got all my matchups and updates from 810 Varsity, 810varsity.com. I encourage everybody, if you want to keep tabs on all those matchups going on, be sure to have 810 Varsity, that tab open along with us. Continue watching and listening to us, but also if you want to check out those scores, go to 810varsity.com. Get into the starting lineups first for the hometown team, the Tonganoxie Chieftains. We'll start with the starting offense and the anticipated quarterback. Couple quarterbacks warming up during warm-ups, but from what Preston Troyer told me earlier, they'll be sticking with the sophomore Noah Carlton, who came in last week in relief of Trevor McGraw after he went out with injury. So we'll see how he performs after getting a week of the starting role under his belt and the week's prep. We'll see how that goes. Colton Brusvin, the main man, the running back, he is back tonight. Wide receivers, Brendan Briley, Isaiah Holthouse, and Talon Langford. Tight end, Caden May, as he will take over the starting role for Tyler Pankey after he went down with the knee injury. And the offensive line, TJ Leeper, Nathan Smith, Connor Cole, Zach Fisher, and Ryder Sparks. Moving over to the defensive side, defensive line, Isaiah Holthouse, who also in that Bonner Springs game suffered what initially was thought to be a separated shoulder, but he came right back in, scored a pick six, a defensive touchdown, and then an offensive receiving touchdown. So think more just sprained shoulder. He's good to go. Rounding up that defensive line, Connor Cole, Nathan Smith, and TJ Leeper. Linebackers, Colton Brusvin, Jack Messersmith, and Tanner Hand. Filling in again for Tyler Pankey. On the defensive end is Tanner Hand, sophomore, getting good action here as well. Defensive backs, Talon Langford, Wyatt Harris, Noah Bailey, and Brendan Briley. Let's move over the offensive starters for the visiting Spring Hill Broncos. Offensive line, left side over, Carter Meat, Corey Couch, Cole Roden, Carter Blaine, Louis Stadler. Tight end is Junior Jara. Wide receivers, Bryce Kirshner, Jackson Torres, and Evan Brown. Quarterback, sophomore Tyson Beshore, and the running back, the star senior Draven Pipkin. And now the defense for the Broncos. Defensive line, Keanu Tiafu, Casey O'Neill, and Mark DeBayek, and Trigg Smith. Linebackers for tonight's game, Noah Anderton, Brandon Richardson, Porter Jones, and Thomas Davis. And defensive back, Hagen Whitcraft, James Newton, Miles Bell, and Kendall Hyas. As the Tonganoxie band outperforming the national anthem as we get closer to kickoff here. We're going to take one more final break. When we come back, we're going to give our final analysis and keys to the game, and then kickoff just nearing 10 minutes away. We're almost there, folks. Hang in there. We'll be right back with more Chieftain football here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Has your furnace left you out in the cold? Pipes plugged? Are you underwater with your water heater? If so, you'll be glad you called Ladd. Ladd Service Company in Tonganoxie has been your heating, cooling, and plumbing specialist since 1986. Ladd is your dealer for top quality brands like York, April Air, and Wolverine Brass. Plus, they maintain and service all other brands. Schedule your appointment by calling 913-369-3509. Visit laddserviceco.com to see why you'll be glad you called Ladd. The same look and location of a classic drugstore with the services and supplies of a modern pharmacy. That's what you'll find at the Downtown Drug Store in Tonganoxie. Of course, Downtown Drug is the local choice for your prescriptions and health needs, but did you know they have the best selection of Tonganoxie Pride and Chieftain game day gear in town? And a whole lot more. Cards, gifts, home decor, and even the best way to satisfy that sweet tooth. The Downtown Drug Store. Call 913-369-3800 or visit them online at thedowntowndrugstore.com.
Midwest Chiropractic Center in Tonganoxie, Lansing, and Bonner Springs is ready to get you back to being the active, energetic person you want to be. Dr. Robert Shook and Dr. Daniel Haugen at Midwest Chiropractic offer caring, high-quality, and comprehensive care, including chiropractic care, acupuncture, and school and DOT physicals. Now offering Saturday appointments in Bonner Springs and Tonganoxie to better serve you. To schedule your appointment, call 913-369-0022 or visit them at mwchiropractic.com. From its native roots to the bustling community it is today, Tonganoxie's past is as unique as its future. With small town charm and big city amenities, Tonganoxie is the ideal place to grow a business and grow a family. Just 20 minutes from both Lawrence and Kansas City, Tonganoxie is perfectly positioned. Take an afternoon and come explore Tonganoxie. To learn more, go to tonganoxie.org.
Back here live at Beatty Field, ready for the game to get going here. Under 10 minutes left to go to kickoff. It's now time for our keys to the game, brought to you by the Tonganoxie Business Association. And three things I put together after watching the tape from last week. Number one, pretty clear, cut down on the penalties. Now, the Chieftains only had 6 penalties for 50 total yards, which for the first game of the year, not so bad. Typically, the first game of the year, you see a lot of sloppiness. First game of the year, a lot of jitters, anxiousness, nervousness. A lot of that going on, so that kind of leads to some penalties, some mistakes. Didn't see too many of those. However, one of those, the 6 penalties, took off a potential game-winning score by Tyler Pankey in the second half. That would have been his 4th touchdown on the game. He only finished with 3 before leaving with the knee injury. And that was a big kind of what-if that we were talking about in the postgame show in a 47-42 loss. That touchdown stays on the board. Who knows? Maybe the Chieftains are sitting here 1-0 instead of 0-1. So cut down on the penalties a little bit more, tighten it up a little bit. Number 2, get Noah Carlton settled in early. It is really key. Last week, kind of thrown into the fire, didn't have a lot to anticipate. When Trevor McGraw went down and was told he wouldn't be back into the ball game, whatever game plan that Little T, Preston Troyer, the head coach, had in mind, had to throw it out the window. They went with the Wildcat for a little bit. That was working. But then eventually had to finally put a quarterback in there, and it's Noah Carlton. He went 6 of 13 for 57 yards, 1 touchdown to Isaiah Holthouse. So he does have 1 touchdown already on the ledger, 6 of 13. Not bad, and he hung in there pretty comfortably against a stout Baser Linwood defense that were pinning their ears back and just coming after him whenever he dropped back. But I think tonight it's going to be key and for the Chieftains moving on the rest of the year, knowing they won't have McGraw coming back. Get behind Carlton, settle him in, get him locked in, focus, get him comfortable, and the Chieftains should hopefully sail to a victory in this one. Number 3, bring the pressure on defense. Matt Bond, the defense coordinator, he loves stunts, and he loves to bring the blitz. And I think last week was a little bit of a feeling out process with his defense. I only have a few seniors anchoring it. Everyone else pretty much sophomores and juniors. So a little feeling out process, trying to figure out where everybody goes, who can do what. I think after 1 week, he knows that now. I would expect tonight him to bring a lot of stunts, a lot of blitzes, be a little bit more aggressive, and keep Spring Hill on their toes. Keep that offensive line not knowing where these defensive linemen and linebackers are going to be coming in from. I expect a little more creativity out of that and try to get in the backfield and make life hell for Pipkin, the running back, who last week against Bonner Springs had him a nice start to the season. As I'm looking here, Pipkin, 17 carries for 95 yards and a couple of touchdowns on his ledger. Spring Hill, pretty even team, unlike the Chieftains, who, especially after last week, Colton Brusman, over 40 carries on the ground, very run-heavy. We'll see what they do tonight, but they've always been a run-heavy team anyways. Spring Hill Broncos like to spread the ball out a little bit more. They'll go run, they'll go pass, RPO, play action. They do just about a little bit of everything. So the Chieftain defense, again, can't get too stale out there. Got to keep it mixed up, keep it fresh, keep the Broncos on their toes, and you're going to have a fighting chance in this one. Those were the keys of the game. Again, brought to you by the Tonganoxie Business Association. We're going to take our final break. We're under 5 minutes left to go until kickoff, and that is over on the other side of the break here on Tonganoxie Sports Live, your home for Chieftain Athletics.
The Tonganoxie Recreation Commission understands that the benefits of recreation are endless. Participating in community recreation is not only fun, but also healthy and educational. The Tonganoxie Rec Commission encourages all ages and abilities to participate in recreational activities. That's why they're continually working to develop programs for all the residents of Tonganoxie. To see the latest sports and program offerings and to get signed up, visit them at tongirec.org or call 913-845-3502. Whether you're an athlete looking to get back for another big win or you're just trying to win at life, Dr. Adam Ludwin at Win Chiropractic and Sports Therapy can get you back in the game. Dr. Adam has the tools and skills to have you feeling your best in no time. With chiropractic adjustment, physical therapy, cupping, taping, muscle scraping, on-site x-ray, and more. Lose the pain and win the day at Win Chiropractic and Sports Therapy. Now open in Tonganoxie. Book online at winchiropracticst.com or call 913-214-1020.
Get back in the game with Physical Therapy Solutions in Tonganoxie. As a state-of-the-art outpatient physical therapy clinic, Physical Therapy Solutions will develop a plan of care to help you move, reduce pain, restore function, and prevent disability. Physical Therapy Solutions takes great pride in delivering current, quality-driven treatments. And now get occupational therapy in the office or at home on an outpatient basis. Call 913-417-7400 or visit ptsolutionsks.com.
Black and Gold leads to sold at Skeet Real Estate in Tonganoxie. Steve Skeet and the agents at Skeet Real Estate are dedicated to helping you either buy your dream home or sell your home quickly. Plus, Skeet is a one-stop shop with a full line of insurance products from Skeet Insurance. In Tonganoxie and the surrounding area, your choice for real estate and insurance is Skeet. To learn more, follow them on Facebook at Skeet Real Estate or call 913-845-2255.
And we are just moments away. The Chieftains getting ready to run out of the tunnel and take the field in front of the home crowd for the first time in 2022. Looking for their first win of the year. Facing a Spring Hill team coming off a win last week at Bonner Springs in dominant fashion. And here they come. A 46-13 win last week over the Braves from Bonner Springs. That is the final score for Spring Hill last week. Head coach Preston Troyer in his second game with that head coach title next to his name in the programs, looking to pick up his first win as a head coach tonight. And it'll be another tough test for the Chieftains as they faced a Spring Hill team and the defending league champs from last season, and coming in another squad that will be pretty much fully platooning their offense and defensive players. So that fatigue factor for the Chieftains, they handled it pretty well last week against Basler Linwood. Let's see if they do more of the same here tonight. As we wait for the opening coin toss as Spring Hill now takes the field. The captain's heading to the center. And for the Chieftains, it's Connor Cole and Logan Schmidt, two seniors taking on the captain role. Many captains out there for the Broncos, including number 1, Luke Metcalf, number 16, James Newton, and number 10, Brandon Richardson out there as well, and number 2, Draven Pipkin. And Pipkin's going to be a name that you folks might want to remember back at home. He is one of the star running backs for the Broncos. They love to give him the ball and watch him run. As for the quarterback, sophomore Tyson B. Shore stepping in for Tyler Pankey last season. Last week against Bonner Springs, went 9 of 11 for 87 yards and 1 touchdown. Fairly consistent game from him, as this Chieftain defense looks to throw him a challenge tonight. And it's a rave near the Tongi logo as kickoff looms. And this presentation of Tonganoxie Sports Live, as always, is brought to you by Kansas Insurance. And you have been watching the S&S Body pregame show. And folks, it has felt so long since we have had a weekend of football. It has felt like forever, since around Thanksgiving. Friday Night Lights tonight, great slate of college football tomorrow, and of course the NFL season kicking off last night, Buffalo and Los Angeles. The rest of the games going on Sunday and Monday night this week. Buckle up. Clock is now set. We're about ready to roll here in the first quarter. Again, both Tyler Pankey and Trevor McGraw, even though not playing in this game, are on the sideline supporting their teammates. Spring Hill will kick things off. So we will see this Tonganoxie offense as they will get a first crack at it. And new quarterback Noah Carlton, the 5'10", 140-pound sophomore. The other quarterback they had warming up out there was number 4, Talon Langford, 6 foot, 171-pound sophomore. Both were taking reps. And we'll have to wait and see. Harris and Langford back to receive, and we are ready to rock and roll on a Friday night here at Beatty Field at Tonganoxie High School, and is taken in inside the 5 and brought out. Cuts back inside, has a seam, and there he goes. Shows off the wheels. Getting near the 40, makes one man miss, past midfield, one man to beat, stiff arm, slowing down, and stumbling down near the 20. And a perfect start of the game for the Chieftains as they will be set up in prime position right near the red zone. Beautiful return. And here we go with this Chieftain offense. And first one out there, looks like they're sending Talon Langford to be the signal caller first. And the Chieftains now ready to roll here. Bruisman in the backfield. Langford calls for the snap. A little early movement. Spring Hill moved first. It's a matter if they come across the neutral zone. And all indications say yes. Here's the call from the official. An encroachment indeed, so add 5 more onto the great return. That'll make it 1st and 5 now. Ball on the 13-yard line in Spring Hill territory already. Set it up again. And it's a handoff right side. And swallowed up. Not very much there. First one there was Jackson Torres for the Broncos. Getting a hold on Bruisman. And Chieftains will actually lose some yardage on that. So that will now back him up down near the 20. Still second and pretty manageable, though. Langford fakes the handoff, looks the pass, rolling right field, the pressure, pump fakes one, and will not get out of it. Two Broncos there to wrap him up, and finally breaking him down, Mark DeBayek. And that's a sack for the Broncos. Langford, not very much to do there. Thought about getting rid of it, wisely holding on to it and swallowing the sack. Now the Chieftains going the wrong way. DeBayek, that is his first sack of the new season. Nearly 3rd and 15 now. Obvious play and a pass, and now the ball's on the ground. Langford lost handle of it, and that's DeBayek again. A sack on one play and a fumble recovery on the next. And the Chieftain offense in a blunder, going backwards 3 plays in a row, and they turn it over. And now the Spring Hill offense will get their first crack at it. 10:36 left to go in the first quarter. And a sloppy start for the Chieftains. And now here comes the Broncos offense led by sophomore Tyson Beshore and Draven Pipkin in the backfield. And let's see what Spring Hill elects to do. Handoff right side. Pipkin cuts back inside, makes one-man miss, getting through the middle, finally wrapped up by a clump of red jerseys, dragging him back near the original line of scrimmage. He picked up about 3 or 4. This is a Spring Hill team from last season, undefeated to the majority of regular season play. They came in to Beatty Field last season in a close contest, took overtime to beat the Chieftains 27-21. Another run by Pipkin. Bowls over his own man after picking up the first down. He is down near midfield. As his offensive lineman down there, that's big old number 78, looking down my roster, Carter Meek, the 6', 280-pound big man. Pipkin 3 times in a row into Chieftain territory, and not much more than that. Got maybe close to the 47. That looks like where they're going to mark him down at. And Spring Hill, Frontier League champions last season, dropped the regular season finale against Eudora. That was their first loss. And then going into the playoffs, they beat Schlegel at home and then lost to St. Thomas Aquinas. Got the doors beaten off of them by then 5A St. Thomas Aquinas, who is dropped and reclassified to 4A this season. Spring Hill, classifying as a 5A school, plays in 5A playoffs. And a quick pass out there to Kirshner, and the Chieftain defense was ready for it as Langford, among others, wrap him up and escort him out of bounds. 3rd and medium, 3rd and 6 coming up for the Broncos. Big stop looming here for the Chieftain defense. And Pipkin is going to come. Nope, thought he was coming off the field. He's coming back in there. He's back there with Beshore. Beshore, handoff, right side, trying to stretch it out. The ball carrier not finding much, eventually wrapped up, picks up a little bit more yardage, but will not get the first. Handoff was to Colton McCanna, number 5, trying to stretch it out, outside zone to the right side, and the Broncos will be forced to punt it away, call it about 4th and 5. So a good stop there by the Chieftain defense coming on after 3 tumultuous plays by the Chieftain offense. Wyatt Harris, the deep man, back to return for the Chieftains near the 15-yard line. Spring Hill taking her time. Play clock right now it's 0s, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, maybe to get some more room, get in there and punt. And indeed it was, so they're going to go and back him up 5 more yards. Punting in there for Spring Hill, I believe that's number 70, it appears to be, and there is not a number 70 on my roster. Harris still back for the Chieftains. Heels around the 15. The punt is off and away, and a good one coming short. Harris calls it off and takes a good Spring Hill bounce as it rolls down inside the 10 and down just right there. So the Chieftain offense going to have to do a little more work this time They start with their backs near the goal line. And it is still Talon Langford. They're rolling out their quarterback. Again, when McGraw went down last week, it was Noah Carlton who came in when they weren't in the Wildcat and took over the quarterback responsibilities. And all arrows kind of seem to point to Carlton getting the QB1 reps in practice all throughout this week, but it appears Preston Troyer going in an opposite direction with Langford. Brusvin getting the handoff, trying to stretch out, and again, not much going for him. Minimal game there. In fact, he might have lost a yard, and he did. Heiss and others in on the tackle for the Broncos. Now Langford coming out. Now maybe the Chieftains going with a little bit of Wildcat here, something they love to do, and they are. Brusvin takes the handoff, cuts inside, has a man, hit hard, still staying on his feet, and finally pushed back and brought down. Picking up positive yardage that time. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 7. Call it close to about a gain of 5. Miles Bell and Hagen Whitcraft. And on the tackle for Spring Hill, Whitcraft coming in there last and finally getting a hold of Brusvin and pushing him back. 3rd and 8, they call it. Back with the Wildcat. Brusvin trying to cut inside, and again, the Spring Hill defense not allowing any of the cutback lanes to develop for the Chieftain running backs, and it is another 4th down situation and another punt incoming. Be the first time in the game the Chieftains have punt. McKenna back to return near midfield for Spring Hill. Low snap and a pooch punt, and look out cheerleaders, and nobody hurt in that incident. It bounces into the stands and see where they mark it. Officials walking up near the 40. And it looks like right around the 40 is, I think, where they're going to place this ball, and right at the 40 it will be. So Chieftain offense still in a little bit of a rut right now and not an ideal punt. And the Broncos will set up second drive of the game in Chieftain territory. 1st and 10, ball at the 40-yard line. Pipkin in the backfield with Beshore. Beshore takes a snap, handoff, and makes one man miss, and making many Chieftains miss, and finally brought down. TJ Leeper, number 57, was the first one to break through the line and could have brought him down behind the line of scrimmage, just couldn't wrap up enough to bring him down. And a loss still turns into about a gain of 2 for Pipkin. Pipkin coming in on the chart, 6 foot, 225 pounds, running back, and if they need him to play, linebacker. McKenna running at this time and still picking up some yardage. Call it about a gain of 3 yards. It'll bring about 3rd and 4 on the play. Colton Brusvin in on the tackle for the Chieftains. Another big 3rd down play here for the Chieftain defense. See if they can get this Broncos offense off the field. Maybe force another punt. Still a 0-0 ball game under 6 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Beshore calls for a 2-step drop back. Looks left, fires, in and out of the hands, and falls down incomplete. Kale Dye, number 45, was right in the area of that ball. Could have maybe tipped it and intercepted it on the deflection. I think Langford was the defender in coverage there on Luke Metcalf, number 1. Deflected that one, and the Broncos look like they're going to be going for it. 4th and 5 at the 35-yard line. Taking a long time getting the play call from the head coach. Bunt formation on the left side. Fakes the pass, quarterback. And got him down and near the sticks. And a halfback draw there. Might have picked up the first for Spring Hill. No word yet. Officials are talking about it. And they're going to take some personal time, and they're going to bring out the chain gain and measure this. This was pretty close. McKenna was the running back in the backfield and got the handoff. The Chieftain defense definitely caught off guard. Looks like they were expecting pass. And he got down. If he's short, he's going to be short by maybe just a couple of inches or two. Here comes the chain gain. And short. And the Chieftain defense holds strong, recovering there, and it is a turnover on downs for Spring Hill. A bang-bang play there, but the chains do not lie. And now the Chieftain offense again with another chance to go out and try to get something started here. Still in negative total yards gained so far on offense. Went nothing but backwards on their first drive. And the second drive only netting about 4 positive yards. Langford back in the backfield for the Chieftains. Takes a snap. Quick throw, and that one might have been deflected as it falls incomplete. I believe that was DeBayek again deflecting it. Todd Brown, the intended receiver on the play, trying to get a quick wide receiver screen near the far sideline. Falls to the ground. 2nd and 10 coming up. Ball at the 30-yard line. Another handoff. Bruisman flag right away, but gets through, gets near that first down marker, shoved out of bounds near the Tongi sideline. Newton and Gardner in on the stop for Spring Hill. And they're going to call in an illegal formation on the Chieftains, so take that run off the board and back them up. And a tough start here for this Chieftain offense. Back them up now, 2nd and 15. Need to get to the 40-yard line within the next 2 plays. Langford calls for the snap. Cole snaps it back, hand off to Bruisman. Tries to cut it inside, and again, just not much wiggle room with this Bronco defense, and the up front in the trenches is being won right now by Spring Hill without a doubt. They have not been allowing the Chieftain offensive line to get any movement on them whatsoever. And say he might have picked up 1 or 2 yards, make it 3rd and long. Definite passing down here. Fakes the handoff, flees off the pressure, throws it down the field, and intercepted. Bad pass there, so he was looking for Holthouse. There is a flag, though, so potential DPI coming up. Langford looking over the middle of the field with feeling the pressure in the backfield, looking for Holthouse. And Holthouse had the defender right in his hip pocket, might have tangled their feet up. But they are going to call defensive pass interference. So that should move them forward enough. And that will give the Chieftains a fresh set of downs as they will get to work inside their own 40. So take the interception off the board for Spring Hill. Now the Chieftains granted a second chance here, see if they can capitalize on it. Jack Messersmith checks into the game. Now we got more whistles here and a stoppage. Not sure what the word is yet. Officials talking about something. I do want to take this time, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about Tongi Days coming up. September 17th from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be a fun day full of different activities, including kids games, craft vendors, food trucks, adult yard games, farm animal petting zoo, and live music performances by Undercover, Switch in Time, and the Bob Claimer Band. And for more information, call the phone number 913-416-0099. And Tongi Days, September 17th, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. For those that aren't near a calendar, that is next Saturday. Resuming action here, 1st and 10 at the 40. Handoff right side, Bruisman gets a little bit of headway and stopped up, picking up about 1.5 yards that time before being pushed back by the Spring Hill defensive line. Mark DeBike and Riley Frank, the two Spring Hill defenders in there. DeBike, definitely when you look at him, you can tell he's a full-grown man, 6'4", 245 pounds. And only a junior. Langford, clean pocket, throws, has Holthouse, and overthrows him. Holthouse had a step on the defender. That was James Newton in coverage. Again, that's just one of the things when you have a backup quarterback in there. Maybe the starter puts that one more in the grasp of Holthouse, who has a wingspan on him. Just couldn't quite reel that one in. Holthouse last week against Bonner Springs, two receptions for 33 yards and a 29-yard touchdown reception. He also had the 35-yard pick six. Another throw over the middle, and that one right through the hands of Holthouse, incomplete. It falls harmlessly to the turf. So from a Chieftain offense that picked up nearly 400 yards of total offense last week, showing their struggles and obviously the absence of McGraw and Pankey, pretty obvious. This is a different offense without those two young men. Two returners back deep for Spring Hill. Langford will look to pooch punt it again. It is away, and this one might have been tipped as well and came pretty close to maybe touch the heel of Jackson Torres, number 9. They say no. And Spring Hill will have good field position again. They will take over at the 38-yard line. .321 left to go in the first quarter. Again, my name is Dylan Fung, partner Dennis Dren, recovering from back surgery and sleeping off the anesthesia. Hang in there, partner. We'll see you next week at Chanute. A great contest expected tonight. These two played a really close game. 27-21 was the final score last year, an overtime win against then undefeated Spring Hill. Pipkin gets the handoff, makes one man miss, as that was Wyatt Harris charging in there, the leading tackler for the Chieftains last season. And Harris being on the smaller side as far as stature goes, and Pipkin, already stated, pretty big-bodied running back there, and just using his power, using the stiff arm, and fighting to get back to the original line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Under 3 minutes left to go. Pipkin, handoff up the middle, this time wrapped up, and he might have backed his way near the line of scrimmage again, and they're even going to give him about a half a yard. It'll still be 3rd and 9 left to go. TJ Leeper amongst others in there getting the stop for the Chieftains. Spring Hill looking to convert a 3rd down in this game. Have not been able to do it yet. Back to pass, be sure, feeling the pressure, steps up, rolls out right, still looking downfield, going to run towards the sideline, and he is wrapped up and brought down, penalty flag down, right around the 40-yard line. As Bishore has a run, he's about 7 yards short of the first down marker. Let's see what this flag is, though. I think it was thrown before the hit. And it's going to be a block in the back, so it should be declining the penalty, and that's exactly what Little T does. So another 3rd down stop for the Chieftain defense, and on comes the punting unit for Spring Hill. This is one of those games that, as of right now, is looking a lot like South Dakota State and Iowa in week 1, a.k.a. you cheer for the punter. Both offenses struggling so far, but both defenses answering the bell and rising up to the occasion. Harris back again to receive the punt. Is away, another beauty. I think Harris is going to try to return this one, and he muffs it. And dangerous play there, and Spring Hill gets down there and recovers. And some headsets being thrown on the Chieftains sideline. I think they would have liked him to just let that one bounce. Instead, trying to come up with it. It looked like it was going to be a little low. He was trying to reach down low, bring it in with 2 arms and 2 hands. Just couldn't get enough on it as that punt was going end over end. So pretty much a long 4th down pass with the foot for the Broncos, and they will get back in control in Chieftain territory. Ball spotted just shy of the 40. Pipkin and McKenna in the backfield, and it's McKenna following his lead blocker, cuts back inside, met by Brusman. Gain of about 4. Harris also flying in there and venting out some of his frustrations on the muff punt, and getting in there laying a lick on McKenna. Spring Hill will look to set up again as we approach 1 minute left to go. Left side, Pipkin stretching it outside. Stiff arm on Holthouse, and Holthouse does a great job to hold on to him and waits for the cavalry to arrive in the form of Jack Messersmith coming around and keeping Pipkin from going any further. And it's another 3rd and long. About 3rd and 8 to my estimation. Spring Hill will need to run one more play before the end of the half. Play clock is just now at 15 seconds. A 17-second difference between game clock and play clock. Now we have a penalty. Holthouse, some slight movement by the Spring Hill offensive line, so a false start it is, and I believe that was Corey Couch for the Broncos. He's starting left guard over there. 3rd and 13 now. Fakes to McKenna, looking downfield. He's going to loft it. Has a man. Jumps over his defender and hauls it in. That's number 84, Cooper DeAlbany. 6'4", 200-pound tight end. Had a step on the defender and didn't have his eyes around to the ball. Perfect placement by Beshore. And the first 3rd down conversion, and of course, on 3rd and 13. McKenna picks up about half of it there, called 2nd and 5, and that will bring it into the action here in the first quarter. Still scoreless, but the Broncos are threatening in the red zone. We will be right back with more coverage here on the Chieftains Sports Network, Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Wizard of Paws, now at their newly renovated location in downtown Tonganoxie, offers personalized pet grooming, doggy daycare, dog obedience, and socialization classes. At Wizard of Paws, your pet will get a one-on-one grooming experience, ensuring they return to you quickly and looking fabulous. And their new facility offers amenities and space that is doggone amazing. Call Wizard of Paws at 913-416-0255 or visit their new location at 406 East 4th Street in Tonganoxie. Learn more at wizardofpawspet.com.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Ready to get things started here in the second quarter at Tonganoxie High School. Dylan Funk, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Week 2 action here all across the state of Kansas. Week 3 over on the Missouri side. And a full weekend slated with football. Friday Night Lights tonight. Great college football action. Headline 11 a.m. kickoff. I don't know about you folks, but I'm going to be tuning in. Texas and Alabama, K-State, Missouri. Some interesting matchups there. And Kansas coming off a great Week 1 performance. Going to West Virginia, early Big 12 matchup for the Jayhawks tomorrow. Meanwhile, back to action on the field. 2nd and 6. McKenna feeling the pressure, and he'll be brought down for a loss. About a loss of 1 on the play. And Connor Cole, among others, getting back there. And Cole, the senior, one of the seniors along that offensive line, trying to rally the troops and get this Chieftain defense another big 3rd down looming. And this probably, I would argue, 4-down territory for the Broncos. They had hopefully a 3-man substitution now for the Broncos. Pipkin's still the main man in the backfield. Be sure looking to pass, feeling the pressure, trying to step up, and cannot escape. Brought down and a sack. Number 56, Braden Folsom, the 6'4", 190-pound junior. Coming around the edge, just going around the lineman. The left tackle for Spring Hill. Be sure trying to step up. Folsom doing a great job, not coming in too wide. Getting his butt low. Getting in there for a tackle. Field goal is away. And while it wasn't the prettiest kick in the world, it still is good. And our first points of the game come via the field goal. A 3-0 score here in Tonganoxie High. We'll step away for 30 seconds. Chieftains get the ball next here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you, and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Farm Bureau agents Tex Vandervoort and Jerry Sanders in Tonganoxie today.
So the Spring Hill Broncos draw first blood here, a 3-0 lead. 10:43 left to go in the second quarter. While they were able to convert their first 3rd down of the game on 3rd and 13, they come up short on 3rd and 7 after a big sack from Braden Folsom. Again, the Chieftain defense feeling their backs against the wall, standing tall and forcing the field goal unit to come out. And now the Chieftain offense looking to follow in suit. And the kickoff is away. And here comes the return man, Tanner Hand. Makes one man miss and cuts back inside and be called down right around the 25-yard line. Might have got up to the 26. And great field position for the Chieftains here. So Colton Brusvin coming off a game last week where he saw a total of 42 carries. I believe it was 41 carries, 287 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry. Only 1 touchdown. He had his longest run of 77 yards. Again, in that first half, it was about all Tyler Pankey. While Brusvin had the yardage of 200 plus, Pankey, before leaving with his injury, only had about 55. 10 carries, 55 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And this one, another quick screen pass to Brown and bobbled and incomplete. And the quarterback position for the Chieftains still a big question mark as of right now. Talon Langford has been trying his best out there so far in this one. Chieftains haven't been able to get the passing game or the running game either. Spring Hill has been dominant in the trenches. 2nd and 10, handoff up the middle, trying to create some space. Brusvin almost broke loose, but tackled around the ankles and just got a yard, being 3rd and 9. This is a Chieftain team that had been run heavy for about as long as I can remember. And I believe if you date it back all the way to the 2016 season, for about 5 years in a row, 4 years in a row, the Chieftains had a 1,000-yard rusher in each of those seasons. And meanwhile, pass down the field, big completion. Isaiah Holthouse past midfield and down inside the 45 before being knocked out of bounds. And James Newton running up the sideline with him. Holthouse got his head around to the ball first. Newton kept running, and now the Chieftains see if that's the spark this offense needed to get going. It's always great when you're trying to give a cool stat like that and the big play happens. But, hey, I mean, that's okay. Whatever needs to happen. I'll circle back around to that stat here in just a moment when we have some appropriate time. And now we have a whistle, maybe a timeout. Now, real quick here, while we do have time, the Chieftains had an impressive run 5 seasons in a row with a 1,000-plus rushing yard running back, and that streak ended last season. And even though with Clydesty and Brusvin doing the majority of the running and back to the Wildcat and stopped near the line of scrimmage. So it'll be interesting to see this season. And Colton Brusvin already around 300 yards after 287 last week, and safe to say he's over or near that 300-yard marker already. And now, speaking of Brusvin, he is shaken up on the play and holding. Can't tell if that's his hand he's holding on to or his gut. He's getting checked out by Mark Padfield right now, so insert sophomore running back Tanner Hand. And he's in the backfield with Langford. Fakes the screen, steps back, fires downfield. Wide open, but incomplete. Holthouse, nothing but green grass in front of him. And 6 points. And Langford overthrows him. And just a bad throw by a backup quarterback on that one. Beautiful play design. And it'll stay 3rd down and 10. There was not a white jersey within about 15 yards of Holthouse. So he was around the 20. Got to pick it up here. Langford hit as he threw. And they're going to say arm going forward, incomplete pass, but took a hit. That Spring Hill defense was coming in after him. And again, like we had talked about, the kind of theme with this Chieftain team going back to last year was a play here or there, where there were just some moments in games where they had a chance to score. Like last week, a Pankey touchdown gets taken off by a penalty, and now on this drive, 2nd and 10, open receiver down the field, easy touchdown, and he overthrows, and now the Chieftains will be forced to punt. Cannot come up with any points. Langford gets away. This one a little bit better, angling towards the sideline, down inside the 20, rolls out, and we will see where they officially mark it. They're going to say 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line, so the best punt so far for Langford. Meanwhile, Brusvin still a little shaken up on the sideline. Doesn't appear to be anything too major. We'll keep an eye on it for now. He's bent over, elbows on the knees right now. Might have got the wind knocked out of him. And knowing Brusvin, he is a tough young man, and he's going to try to gut it out if the coaches will let him. 8:46 left to go in the second quarter. A defensive affair so far. 3-0 our score. Spring Hill out in front after making a field goal on their last offensive drive.
This service will be available at any game being broadcasted by Tonganoxie Sports Live. Thank you to Tonganoxie Sports Live and Easy Relic for offering this free and easy-to-use service.
And you are welcome. We here at Tonganoxie Sports Live, we are absolutely thrilled to be doing what we do on a nightly basis and weekly basis. And also check out the station Spring Hill Sports Live. No. Trying to get some confirmation of who exactly called timeout there. And I believe it was I didn't see anybody right now. I didn't see the official announce one either, so maybe it's just the official's timeout taken off. Meanwhile, 1st and 10, ball at the 10-yard line, have to go 90 yards if they want to score here. And another handoff to Pipkin, has some space, bumbles forward, about a gain of 8 on the play. A good run there. And Broncos quickly getting back up to the line of scrimmage. Might be going with a little up tempo here. Another snap, right side. Pipkin, cut back lane, 1st down and more. Another nice gain, about 7.
Pipkin on the carry. Jack Messersmith on the stop for the Chieftains.
TJ Leeper comes back into the game, bringing out Tucker McGuire, and Bruisvin was running off, but the coaches pulled him back. Screen pass, and not getting very much out of it. Looking out to Brandon Torres, number 9. Excuse me, Jackson Torres. 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Broncos. Pipkin in the backfield, and they give it to him. Again, strong running. Look at him go. Still carrying Chieftain defenders, and he earned that 1st down without a doubt. Bruisvin now coming back into the game, so nothing too serious after having to come out on the last offensive drive. The guy Glover now comes out. Now the Broncos, after appearing to be going with a little bit of tempo, now slowing down here momentarily for 85. Cade Johnson, the officials talking with him, getting his equipment all situated, and we're ready to resume play here, and here we go. Or maybe not. And now we go. Another handoff. McKenna, open space, cutting near midfield, turns on the burners. He might be gone. Holthouse might chase him down, and not enough as he tumbles into the end zone. A touchdown for the Broncos. And McKenna hitting the gap and turning on the burners. Holthouse chasing him down all the way to the very end. Wrapped him up right around the 5-yard line, but momentum carrying him forward as they both tumble into the end zone. A 9-0 ball game pending the extra point. Cooper DeAlbany going to make it a double-digit lead, and it's good as he splits the uprights. Chieftains, for the 2nd week in a row, find themselves down double digits. 7-1 left to go in the 2nd quarter. 10-0 Spring Hill after the touchdown run by Colton McKenna houses it. 10-0 Broncos. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Bank and Trust mobile app, you can bank from anywhere. Check your balance while you're waiting in line here, or transfer funds while you're here. Forget to pay that bill? Pay it from here. Don't cut your visit short to go to the bank. Make your deposit from here. And remember, you're always welcome to bank right here. Did you know First State Bank and Trust has donated over $112,000 to Tonganoxie schools? Every time you swipe your Tonganoxie Chieftain debit card, we donate. For more information, visit us at firststateks.com. Member FDIC.
Chieftain offense will be looking to respond there. And Colton McKenna, number 5, going nearly 60 yards to the house, all on the ground. Made a nice cut, had an opening, and showed off the speed as he took it to the house. Chieftains looking to respond here. Wyatt Harris will bring it out. Tanner Hand, 22 and 23 look pretty similar from the press box up here. And again, another decent return out to the 25-yard line. Again, the continuing storyline for this Chieftain offense with official word being Trevor McGraw out for the year. So who is going to be the signal caller in the backfield? Last week it was Noah Carlton going 6 of 13, 57 yards and 1 touchdown. They had both Carlton, who is on the sideline, right next to Little T, ready to hop in whenever, but Talon Langford, the sophomore, who originally listed on the roster as a wide receiver and defensive back, has been getting the duty so far. And this is the other thing for the Chieftains. No running game going whatsoever. They had 351 total rushing yards last week. Compare that to 408 total yards of offense against Baser Linwood. And a much slower start for them in this game against Spring Hill. And like we had talked about, the absence of Tyler Pankey can be seen here. Curl route and complete. Getting upfield and down just inside the 45-yard line. Good pass right on the money. And that was to number 25, Brendan Briley, who didn't get a lot of targets in the last week against the Bobcats. A good one there, making the most of it on a comeback route. Settled in, looked the ball into his hands, and shook off his defender, picked up about an extra 5 yards. Bunch formation here on the right side. Another handoff to Brusvin, feeling the pressure. In the backfield, still picks up about a yard, but a penalty flag is thrown. And this could potentially be holding on the Chieftains. And that's exactly what it is. So back him up, and it'll stay first down, but it'll now be 1st and 20. Let's see the Chieftains go with the air raid a little bit more. Not very often, especially in this modern age of football, which you call it the air raid era of football. But the Chieftains last week only completing 6 of 15 total passes, which is insanely below the nation average. I mean, you just looked at high school football in general. We know this team is a run-heavy offense, but even then, 6 of 15, pretty startling. And Briley went up for it and looked a little scary on the landing, but not up around the head or neck area, so no flag will be thrown. Incomplete, just out of the reach of Briley as he was trying to go up and bring that down, just out of the reach of the fingertips. It looked like it was James Newton again that was on him, and the home crowd on the Tonganoxie side really wanted a flag thrown there, but I do have to say pretty clean defense. And while the yanking down of Briley when he was in midair looked pretty scary, was clean though. Another passing play, 3rd and 20, heaving it down to Holthouse. He's got him, slides and makes the catch. Good job, Isaiah Holthouse. Call him down inside the 35 and into Bronco territory again. A big reception there. Langford to Holthouse. Going hurry up. Back to pass again. Looking for Holthouse again. And tipped as Luke Metcalf was back in defense. And another incompletion. So that'll slow down the Chieftain offense momentarily. Oh, nearly about a 40-yard completion on that big pass from Langford to Holthouse, and the Chieftains looking to keep the momentum rolling. An incompletion there brings up 2nd and 10, ball at the 34-yard line. 5:08 left to go, down 10. Screen pass, Todd Brown looks it in, gets upfield, and I think he got about half of what they needed and a little bit more. That'll now bring up about 3rd and call it 3rd and 5. It's a short 3rd and 5. Clock continues to run. Under 5 minutes left to play before halftime. Messersmith in motion. Handoff Bruisman, right side. And not getting anywhere. Noah Anderton coming over from the linebacker position, scraping over the top, hitting the honey hole. And a good hawk tackling right there. Coming in, putting the shoulder pad into the hip of Bruisman. Head on the backside and just rolling him down. 4th and 6 now, and the Chieftains are going to go for it. They do have Jackson McWilliams, who could potentially make it from here. Obviously no easy chip shot, but now I think the Chieftains are going to catch a break here, so they're going to move forward about 5 yards after the encroachment. Fourth and 6 now becomes 4th and 1. Chieftains change out their offensive package. Now under 4 minutes left to go. Into the Wildcat. Bruisman going to take it himself, going to try to pick it up, and he does, so the drive will stay alive. First down, Tonganoxie. Needed 1 and picked up 4. You can tell that young man is exhausted, hands on the hips. A two-way player for this Chieftain squad, as most of the starters are. I want to say there's only about 4 players, one of them being Trevor McGraw, if we're going down with injury. So that just kind of shows how many Chieftains really only play one way compared to Spring Hill, where a lot of their guys. 50-50 ball. Call it a touchdown. Holthouse down there on Metcalf. Watch your head, young man. Big 22-yard touchdown reception for Isaiah Holthouse, his 2nd touchdown reception of the year, his 1st in the ball game, and the Chieftains are an extra point away from making it a 3-point contest. And that was just a spectacular grab by Holthouse. Good defense by Metcalf as well. I think both players might have had a moment where each of them had both hands on the ball. And the tie will always go to the receiver. McWilliams on for the extra point. Snap and hold are good. The kick is blocked. 2nd week in a row we have seen an unsuccessful extra point from Tonganoxie. And the score will stay at 10-6. McWilliams, his first PAT. Last week it was a bad snap, so didn't even get a chance to kick it. This time, the Bronco defense charging through and blocking that one. So with 3:17 left to go, Spring Hill's going to get the ball back. They still lead 10-6, but the Chieftains answering a big touchdown reception, 22 yards. Langford to Holthouse might have this Chieftain offense rolling. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Shop local and save at Brothers Market in Tonganoxie, where we treat you like family. Brothers Market has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy fresh cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need. From apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Brothers Market, open daily. Learn more at shopbrothersmarket.com.
The crowd still voicing the likening of that touchdown reception, 22 yards. Langford, his first touchdown pass of the season. So he hooks up with Isaiah Holthouse. He went down the Chieftain sideline, near sideline. Had Luke Metcalf right on him, a 50-50 ball, and not a lot of separation Langford just lobbing it up there and letting his big 6'1" wide receiver getting up there and using those long arms to his advantage for the touchdown. Missed extra point, so it stays 10-6. Laying the lumber there. Watch out, young man. Kendall Smith, shot out of a cannon. Laying the wood that time, and a big hit. And that's one for the huddle highlight. Now this Chieftain kickoff team playing a little more inspired now, running down the field. Now let's see what this defense can do now. Spring Hill coming back out, scoring a touchdown on their last drive. About a 60-yard touchdown run from McKenna. And the Broncos will have 3 minutes, 11 seconds left to work with. And I believe still believe all three of their timeouts. They start a handoff. Pipkin, nobody near the other side, runs over Langford, and that's just a strong man running right there. Finally, I believe that was Wyatt Harris coming in and knocking him out of bounds. Number 56, Braden Folsom, already a sack on the game, also near the area. It's still a solid run. Call it about 8 or 9 yards. And now they're actually just going to say he picked it all up in one. Fresh set of downs now. 1st and 10. Ball around the 33-yard line. Looking right side and lobbing it down, and he's got a man open and can't reel it in. And just as we saw the Chieftains blowing a big opportunity, the Broncos turn around and do the same thing. That was Luke Metcalf. And again, folks, just wide open, Pee Wee League open. I mean, no red jerseys, 10 to 15 yards in them, and it looked like a good pass out of the hands of Beshore. And just a little too out of reach, and the Chieftains collecting their breath on the sideline. Pipkin now trying to get it going. Running a man over, still running, and got a lot of pressure on him in the backfield and call him short of the line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Chieftain defense definitely have had the number of the Spring Hill Broncos on 3rd down so far tonight. Let's see if they do it again. Holthouse applying pressure, making and roll out and over, looking back over the middle as he's looking for his tight end to Albany. Also pulls double duties as the field goal kicker for Spring Hill. And incomplete. Beshore was rolling out to his left side, looking back over the middle, had his tight end there. Again, I've never played quarterback one down in my life, but I know one of the cardinal sins is when a quarterback is rolling out, never throw back over to the middle of the field. Unless you're Patrick Mahomes, then it's more acceptable than it is not. But still, risky pass there, just out of the fingertips, and another 3rd down stop by the Chieftain defense. 2:11 left to go. The Chieftain offense is going to have one more chance. And Peter, as this one takes a Chieftain bounce, as it'll roll right at the 45-yard line. Prime position for the Chieftains. And let's see what they do with it here. And the Chieftains receive the opening kickoff, so they will be on defense to open up the second half. And they will have 2:01 on the clock. And Tonganoxie, all 3 timeouts remaining. Langford in the backfield with Brusvin. Brown, Briley here at the bottom of your screen. And Zakiah Glover up at the top. Snap is back a little bit out of the reach. Langford just quickly getting rid of it. Looks like a broken play there, incomplete. Snap wasn't quite in his hands. Tried to grab it with one hand down on the turf momentarily and picked it back up and just threw it at the feet of the Spring Hill defensive back. Pretty smart play there. Don't want to lose any yardage or try to force a throw and have a turnover. 2nd and 10 now at the 45. Clock stops after the incomplete pass. Handoff. Brusvin breaks one tackle and, again, just barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Noah Anderton, number 31, shooting through that Chieftain offensive line. Almost had him down the backfield. And the running game just has not been working for the Chieftains tonight. How many times have we said that about this offense in the Troyer era, just overall? Past 10 years with Big T at the helm, and now this year with Little T. 3rd down at 10, expected passing down. That's exactly what the Chieftains will do. Pump fakes and throws and skips it on the turf, incomplete. Again, looking for a Holthouse on a comeback route near the sticks. And the Chieftains go 3 and out and will punt it back to the Broncos. 1:16 left in the 2nd quarter. And a chance for the Chieftains, if they could have capitalized on that drive, to potentially take the lead or cut the deficit down to 1. Instead, they will be forced to punt, a 3 and out. Nobody is back deep for Spring Hill right now. And the punt is away, and let it roll, and it takes a nice Chieftain bounce inside the 20, dies out right around the 15-yard line. So a good punt from Langford again. We saw him struggle with those earlier in the contest. Now seems to have found his rhythm. And the Chieftains will have the Broncos pinned down 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. A good turnout for the Chieftain home crowd. A lot of people showing out for the home opener tonight. Week 2 action. Broncos coming in 1-0 on the season after defeating Bonner Springs last week, and the Chieftains losing a heartbreaker 47-42 to Baser Linwood. Back-to-back seasons now that the Chieftains have suffered a loss in week 1 to the Bobcats. Handoff. McKenna, bouncing off defenders. Still not down. Cutting it back the other way. And knocked out of bounds by Holthouse. Folsom in pursuit, hot on his heels. Might have tripped him up a little bit, and that was a little bit of Pee-wee-ish action there. They're running around in circles and loop-de-loops. Finally breaks through. Clock burned a lot of time off the clock there. Now under a minute left to go. 2nd and 2. Handoff. McKenna again. And he picks up the 1st down, but not much more. And Spring Hill still all 3 timeouts left. They will stop the clock here as they get the chain set up. Now the clock will run again. Not a major sense of urgency here from the Broncos as of yet. Let's see what the Chieftain defense tries to do here. They step back in coverage, feeling a little bit of pressure. Throw down the field, wide open and complete, and knocked out of bounds past midfield. And that was DeAlbany again. Fresh set of downs. Beshore, another throw. Has a man. Metcalf reels it in. Harris right there on him. Brings him down right when he catches it. Under 20 seconds left to go. And Matt Bond running out onto the field and calling a timeout. And the Chieftain defense going to have a chance to regroup here. Back-to-back big plays through the air for the Broncos. Have them set up in prime position. 1st and 10 at the Chieftain 22-yard line. 17.4 seconds left to go before halftime.
Black and Gold leads to sold at Skeet Real Estate in Tonganoxie. Steve Skeet and the agents at Skeet Real Estate are dedicated to helping you either buy your dream home or sell your home quickly. Plus, Skeet is a one-stop shop with a full line of insurance products from Skeet Insurance. In Tonganoxie and the surrounding area, your choice for real estate and insurance is Skeet. To learn more, follow them on Facebook at Skeet Real Estate or call 913-845-2255.
Welcome one of our newest sponsors this year, Skeet Real Estate. And thank you to their support in year 3 here at Tonganoxie Sports Live. It has just gone by so fast. Back-to-back big plays through the air for the Broncos have them set up 1st and 10 at the Chieftain 22-yard line. 17 seconds left to go before halftime. Broncos trying to extend on that lead before receiving the second half kickoff. Be sure, again, looking downfield, goes short near the sideline and over the head of McKenna, incomplete. This Chieftain defensive line, they have more times than not been getting in the backfield, getting B-Shore uncomfortable, getting out of the pocket. So credit to B-Shore. This is a talented sophomore they have back there, a really good arm and good vision as he can find guys downfield and has thrown some guys open. But, again, as a sophomore quarterback, he has also missed some throws, just part of the growing pains of a varsity quarterback. 11 seconds now on the clock. Flag immediately thrown, heading to the end zone, and incomplete. Wyatt Harris in defense. The Albany, again, the intended receiver. That flag was thrown right when the ball was snapped, so we might have either an illegal formation or false start. And illegal formation it is. And the Chieftains will elect to back him up. Second and 15 coming up for Spring Hill, and
second and 15.
yeah, and all 3 timeouts for the Broncos. So maybe this play, you might have enough time to either take a shot near the sideline, set up a field goal, or take a shot to the end zone. Let's see what they like to do. Roll out left, immediately Folsom applying the pressure. And hauls it in. The clock is stopped at 1/10 of a second. I think they're going to add a little bit more time onto that. That was the Albany again. Reeled it in, make sure his feet were in bounds, and then immediately got out to stop the clock. And I think the field goal unit will come on for Spring Hill. So we will see what they do here. Ryan Jackson, number 81, will come on to boot this one away. "48-yard attempt. And it's going to be wide and it's going to be short. Worth the effort, though, as no harm, no foul, as both teams will head to the locker room. And your score at halftime, Spring Hill 10, Tonganoxie 6. We'll be right back with the White Birch Agency's Realty Executives halftime show and more right after this on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
For a winning team, contact White Birch Properties, the real estate MVPs.
From its native roots to the bustling community it is today, Tonganoxie's past is as unique as its future. With small-town charm and big city amenities, Tonganoxie is the ideal place to grow a business and grow a family. Just 20 minutes from both Lawrence and Kansas City, Tonganoxie is perfectly positioned. Take an afternoon and come explore Tonganoxie. To learn more, go to tonganoxie.org.
The Tonganoxie Recreation Commission understands that the benefits of recreation are endless. Participating in community recreation is not only fun, but also healthy and educational. The Tonganoxie Rec Commission encourages all ages and abilities to participate in recreational activities. That's why they're continually working to develop programs for all the residents of Tonganoxie. To see the latest sports and program offerings and to get signed up, visit them at tongirec.org or call 913-845-3502.
The same look and location of a classic drugstore with the services and supplies of a modern pharmacy. That's what you'll find at the Downtown Drug Store in Tonganoxie. Of course, Downtown Drug is the local choice for your prescriptions and health needs, but did you know they have the best selection of Tonganoxie Pride and Chieftain game day gear in town? And a whole lot more. Cards, gifts, home decor, and even the best way to satisfy that sweet tooth. The Downtown Drug Store. Call 913-369-3800 or visit them online at thedowntowndrugstore.com.
Whether you're an athlete looking to get back for another big win or you're just trying to win at life, Dr. Adam Ludwin at Win Chiropractic and Sports Therapy can get you back in the game. Dr. Adam has the tools and skills to have you feeling your best in no time with chiropractic adjustment, physical therapy, cupping, taping, muscle scraping, on-site x-ray, and more. Lose the pain and win the day at Win Chiropractic and Sports Therapy, now open in Tonganoxie. Book online at winchiropracticst.com or call 913-214-1020.
Back here at halftime at Beatty Field at Tonganoxie High School. Dylan Funk here. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. A great night of action. I don't know if we can get a shot of this. This is pretty cool. Shout out to the Chieftain Stars dance team. But a beautiful night, and you can see there a full moon looming over the high school field, and Friday night lights back in full swing. Football back in full swing at all levels, high school, college, and professional. It has just been a great night and a great game so far tonight. Spring Hill with the lead 10-6, so a much different scenario than we saw in our game last week against Baser Linwood, where it was high-powered offenses. The defense was just non-existent. It was a matter of who was going to get, that second stop just throughout the game. Whoever did that was going to end up winning the game. Tonight, a little bit of a different story. It's been about, how these two offenses, who's going to get it going. And we saw Spring Hill, their running game has been there, but the Chieftain defense have owned them on third downs. I haven't been exactly keeping a running total, but I think Spring Hill only converting about maybe 3 third downs the whole entire night, which is very, very good. One of them a long 3rd and 13, and that was their first one that they converted on back earlier in the second quarter. Meanwhile, the Chieftains on offense still feeling the woes, a little bit of the losses of Tyler Pankey and Trevor McGraw. Talon Langford has been getting all the snaps at quarterback tonight, and a change. We're coming into the week expecting Noah Carlton, the sophomore, who got in last week against Baser Linwood, but it's been Langford tonight. And he's had his moments, no doubt. Again, listed on the roster as a wide receiver and defensive back. Doesn't even have him down as a quarterback, but he had the week of preparation coming into this. In fact, they were still warming up. Langford and Carlton both during pregame. Both were getting 50-50 snaps through the offense, but so far it's been all Langford, and Carlton has been on the sideline so far. We'll see maybe if they switch that up at halftime or not. As far as the Chieftain offense, running game has been non-existent so far. The Spring Hill Broncos have been dominating down inside the trenches and just have not allowed Colton Brusman to break free for just about anything. The only big gain on the ground the Chieftains have had was the opening kickoff that was taken down near the Spring Hill 20. And even then, 3 plays later, the Chieftains go backwards and have a fumble and turn it over. So it hasn't been the best of nights for the Chieftain offense. They did strike once, a 22-yard touchdown reception. Langford to Holthouse, put up the 6 points, and then the extra point was blocked. And Spring Hill, their 10 points, a big 60-yard touchdown run in the second quarter by Colton McKenna. Took it to the house. I mean, nice stretch run to the right side. He cut back, had a gap and a tight window where if he was maybe just a half step later, maybe Holthouse runs him down, but he hit that window, had the space, showed off the wheels, went down the field, and tumbled into the end zone for the touchdown. And then, of course, Spring Hill on a third down play were held short and were forced to kick the field goal, so they have the lead 10-6. So a low-scoring affair right now. A lot of defense going on. We're going to take our break here, and when we come back, we're going to take another look around at those local area matchups again on 810varsity.com, and we'll get more about our second half analysis after this here on the Chieftains Sports Network, Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Trust mobile app, you can bank from anywhere. Check your balance while you're waiting in line here, or transfer funds while you're here. Forget to pay that bill? Pay it from here. Don't cut your visit short to go to the bank. Make your deposit from here. And remember, you're always welcome to bank right here. Did you know First State Bank and Trust has donated over $112,000 to Tonganoxie schools? Every time you swipe your Tonganoxie Chieftain debit card, we donate. For more information, visit us at firststateks.com. Member FDIC. Has your furnace left you out in the cold? Pipes plugged? Are you underwater with your water heater? If so, you'll be glad you called Ladd. Ladd Service Company in Tonganoxie has been your heating, cooling, and plumbing specialist since 1986. Ladd is your dealer for top quality brands like York, Aprilaire, and Wolverine Brass. Plus, they maintain and service all other brands. Schedule your appointment by calling 913-369-3509. Visit laddserviceco.com to see why you'll be glad you called Ladd.
Midwest Chiropractic Center in Tonganoxie, Lansing, and Bonner Springs is ready to get you back to being the active, energetic person you want to be. Dr. Robert Shook and Dr. Daniel Haugen at Midwest Chiropractic offer caring, high-quality, and comprehensive care, including chiropractic care, acupuncture, and school and DOT physicals. Now offering Saturday appointments in Bonner Springs and Tonganoxie to better serve you. To schedule your appointment, call 913-369-0022 or visit them at mwchiropractic.com.
Get back in the game with Physical Therapy Solutions in Tonganoxie. As a state-of-the-art outpatient physical therapy clinic, Physical Therapy Solutions will develop a plan of care to help you move, reduce pain, restore function, and prevent disability. Physical Therapy Solutions takes great pride in delivering current, quality-driven treatments. And now get occupational therapy in the office or at home on an outpatient basis. Call 913-417-7400 or visit ptsolutionsks.com.
Black and Gold leads to sold at Skeet Real Estate in Tonganoxie. Steve Skeet and the agents at Skeet Real Estate are dedicated to helping you either buy your dream home or sell your home quickly. Plus, Skeet is a one-stop shop with a full line of insurance products from Skeet Insurance. In Tonganoxie and the surrounding area, your choice for real estate and insurance is Skeet. To learn more, follow them on Facebook at Skeet Real Estate or call 913-845-2255.
Welcome back here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. Dylan Funk here with you. My partner Dennis Dren recovering from back surgery. He'll be back next Friday for our game against Chanute. And I do want to give a special shout out to the oldest little sister, Lily Bell. Thank you for tuning in and listening tonight to your big brother live on air. Let's get into these area matchups that we were talking about earlier. And we start up at the top. Bishop Miege making a statement out this season after what many last season were calling an off season for Miege. Didn't win a state title. It's an off year for them, but they are out. Strong start to the year, 35-0. They are up on Blue Valley Southwest, the Timberwolves, and Mac Armstrong and Isaiah Coppage, man, that connection. We saw it a little bit last season in the playoff matchup, and those two were special then, and they are off to another special start so far this year. St. James Academy in a close one with Blue Valley, 21-14. They trail the Tigers. Be an interesting matchup to keep an eye on, as is this one. St. Thomas Aquinas and Blue Valley Northwest, a 14-13 ball game in favor of Aquinas. Another close game there in the new 4A team, St. Thomas Aquinas. Throwing down here, Baser Linwood in a tight contest against Piper, 17-10. Old Call Valley League foes going at it there in that contest tonight. Washburn Rule down 14-0 against DeSoto. Shawnee Heights, maybe a little bit of a shocker here, up 22-7 over Lansing. 28-14, Leavenworth over Topeka West. And Frontier League, Eudora Cardinals continue their strong campaign over from last season, 35-0 over Bonner Springs. Lewisburg, 28-14 over Paola. Another little bit of an eyebrow raiser there. Lewisburg seems to be putting together a pretty decent squad down there this year. Baldwin against Ottawa, 35-6 in favor of the Ottawa Cyclones over the Bulldogs from Baldwin. Got this game here 10-6 in favor of Spring Hill. And that rounds up all of our local area matchups that we talked about earlier in the game. And continuing in, again, you're watching the White Birch Property Realty Executives halftime show here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. And our presenting sponsor, as always, for the third year in a row is Kansas Insurance. And I always want to take a moment and just thank all of our sponsors for all the support. Could not do what we do here. We could not bring you all the coverage of your favorite Chieftains and Chieftain athletics if it wasn't for all the amazing support of all of our sponsors and even the new ones coming into this year, including Wind Chiropractic and Skeet Real Estate. Thank you all so much. And for everyone that's been here since day one, talking about Kansas Insurance, S&S Auto Body, Brothers Market, so many more. Could not do what we do without all the support from everybody. So, again, a tip of the cap from me and everybody else at Harris Media Services for all of our local channels and their local sponsors. Eye of the game so far tonight, brought to you again by the Tonganoxie Business Association. Eye of the game. If I had to give an eye of the game for this one, it's going to be more of a what gives first, or what breaks through first, the running game for the Broncos or the running game for the Chieftains, because that has been kind of the backbone of both of these teams coming in here. And so far, while Pipkin has been having his way and McKenna breaking loose on that 60-yard touchdown run, the majority of the game, they've been kept intact pretty much. And I think it's going to be something that if the Chieftains end up coming from behind in this one, and some facet, I'm not saying they got to completely switch gears and Bruceman's got to come out and rush for over 200 yards in the second half. That's not what I'm saying. But to help out the new quarterback, Talon Langford, who is coming in on the backup role in a week of preparation for this matchup. He's had his moments, but he's also had, his misfires, his mistakes, and that is expected to be. So I think if the Chieftains can get the running game up and running, a little bit more supportive, they can really start to take control of this game and run time off, maybe come back and take the lead. And as for Spring Hill, if they do the same thing, well, same story. So we'll just have to wait and see who breaks through first, the running backs for Spring Hill or the running backs for Tonganoxie. As both teams are now coming out of the halftime locker room, Spring Hill and Tongi will warm up. About another 3 minutes left until the start of the second half, and we will take our final break. Second half action over on the other side of the break here on the Chieftain Sports Network, Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Paws, now at their newly renovated location in downtown Tonganoxie, offers personalized pet grooming, doggy daycare, dog obedience, and socialization classes. At Wizard of Paws, your pet will get a one-on-one grooming experience, ensuring they return to you quickly and looking fabulous. And their new facility offers amenities and space that is doggone amazing. Call Wizard of Paws at 913-416-0255 or visit their new location at 406 East 4th Street in Tonganoxie. Learn more at wizardofpawspet.com.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to S&S Body Shop in Tonganoxie. S&S has been the area's premier auto collision repair center since 1972, working on all makes and models, glass replacement, bumper repair, fiberglass and plastic, color matching, and more. Plus, they work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at snsautoandbody.com or call 913-369-3193.
Shop local and save at Brothers Market in Tonganoxie, where we treat you like family. Brothers Market has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy fresh cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need. From apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Brothers Market, open daily. Learn more at shopbrothersmarket.com.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Farm Bureau agents Tex Vandervoort and Jerry Sanders in Tonganoxie today.
All right, about 2.5 minutes left until we get things started here in the second half, although generally in high school, because they have the initial countdown, and then once that is up, they add on about an extra 3 minutes for some extra warm-ups, and a lot of times both teams will just elect. If they're ready, they'll say, we don't need to go through this whole thing. Let's just go. Tonganoxie is ready to go. Their kickoff unit will be sent out first, so Spring Hill will receive the opening kickoff, and Spring Hill getting some final sprints in before they get ready to go. And ending the second half on what would have been a 48-yard field goal attempt, and it, quite frankly, wasn't really close, but 48 yards, that's you're talking even in the professionals. Once you get up there in the right around 50-yard range, that is no easy chip shot. So let alone here at 4A high school level, definitely difficult. So it stays a 10-6 ball game. And all eyes on both of these offenses. Who's going to really take command of this game first? Both offenses scoring over 40 points in their contest last week against their respective opponents. And right now, a low-scoring affair. And now the Edwin Diaz walkout theme for the Mets, being played by Timmy Trumpets. A kind of sports hype theme song that has been making its ways around here within the past couple months. Yeah, now just waiting for Spring Hill. So we're ready to get the second half started. There's Little T talking in the ear. Talon Layford trying to build his confidence up. And again, it's really hard. As a football team as a whole, you go through the whole entire summer training, the off-season training. You have your quarterback, it's set, and everything's built around them. And then when they just go down, unfortunately, in the way that Trevor did in Game 1 on the first drive of the year, it's not that easy just to kind of put a Band-Aid on it and say, all right, well, plan B, because really there is no solid plan B. So the Chieftains still trying to piece this thing together as the weeks go on. Langford, like we talked about, has shown some growing pains, but has also shown some really great poise, standing in the pocket and delivering the ball down the field. McWilliams tees it off, and another pooch kick taken right near the 35, brought up to the 40, and brought down just inside, right around the 41. And that is how the second half of action gets started here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. And we thank you all so much for joining us tonight, perhaps giving us a second chance. It is very nice to have the hometown Wi-Fi that we have tonight compared to what we had last week. A much better rig, a much better setup. And thank you all so much again for just coming back and tuning in and watching this great game with us. Could be a good one. 10-6 where it stands, and Pipkin, the lone man in the backfield, jet sweep, fake the handoff, and now flag immediately thrown. We've seen 2 illegal formations called on Spring Hill, and this could be the third, or potential false start. And they're going to go ahead and call that a false start, so make it 1st and 15 now for the Broncos. Much like the Chieftains, first play on offense in the first half, they go backwards. Broncos' first offensive play in the second half, go backwards. 1st and 15, still handed off to Pipkin. Let him get you those 5 yards and then a little bit more. And that is just that's a man out there running among some boys. Solid run. About 9 yards picked up there. definitely a collective effort to bring Pipkin down. And this time again, brushing through first contact, Connor Cole burst through there, got a hold of him behind the line of scrimmage, but is still able to squirt forward and pick up another yard. And call it 3rd and 5. Broncos need to get to midfield to keep this drive alive. Getting the offensive play call from their sideline. Both teams similar styles of play calling as they will look over to their head coaches on the sideline and get the signals from them. Handoff McKenna on the RPO. First down, Spring Hill. They needed 5, and they got about 5.5. And a first down for Spring Hill. Keeps the drive alive, and they are in Chieftain territory for the first time in the second half. McKenna again bursting through, and solid gain, about 6 yards.
McKenna on the carry, 6-yard gain on the play, make it 2nd and 4.
The running game for Spring Hill has been fairly consistent tonight. Nothing earth-shattering. Again, just consistent. McKenna again, and he has had himself a night. First down and more. Still fighting down near the 30, and play is finally blown dead near the far sideline as he took it in over on the right side, weaved his way around traffic, worked it up to the 30, and another first down for Spring Hill as we approach 10 minutes. Over on the right hash, and now Spring Hill looking to go a little bit of tempo. Handoff, Pipkin, open space, full head of steam, stiff arm, and picks up the first down and more. And once he got the handoff and was running out left and stretching it out, and realized a lot of resistance along that right side of the defensive line for the Chieftains. Broncos now down inside the Chieftains 19. McKenna, wide open hole, runs it, and he's going to take it in. A commanding opening drive to start the second half for the Broncos, and the second touchdown of the night for Colton McKenna. Spring Hill now goes up by 10, extra point pending. Not wasting much time there, and like we had just talked about for the eye of the game, is seeing whose run game was really going to break through and take control of this game, and right now, Spring Hill must have had our broadcast feed on because Pipkin and McKenna said, let us do it. Extra point is good, and that makes it a 17-6 ball game. Chieftain offense will have their first crack at it over on the other side of the break. 9:45 left to go in the third quarter. Chieftains down by 11.
From its native roots to the bustling community it is today, Tonganoxie's past is as unique as its future. With small-town charm and big city amenities, Tonganoxie is the ideal place to grow a business and grow a family. Just 20 minutes from both Lawrence and Kansas City, Tonganoxie is perfectly positioned. Take an afternoon and come explore Tonganoxie. To learn more, go to tonganoxie.org.
The Broncos open up the second half of action with the second touchdown run of the night for Colton McKenna, a 5'10", 165-pound running back / linebacker junior for the Broncos. Yeah, like we have been talking about, how much of a force Draven Pipkin can be. While he has had his fair share of solid runs, McKenna had the big 60-yard run and the touchdown and added on another one right there. This is Todd Brown on the return, trying to stretch it out. Tries to break a tackle and spin it off him, but can't do it. Brought down on the return by number 25, Ryan Paul. And this Ball spotted right at the 25-yard line, and then give credit to the Chieftain return team. Been fairly consistent in getting the ball back to the 25. A manageable field to work with here for Langford and company. Penalty flags are thrown, and all indications is a false start. And now the Chieftain offense, and that continuing that trend, first play of the halves. First play going backwards, make it 1st and 15 now. Messersmith in motion in the backfield. Langford takes a snap, hands it off to Brusvin. Again, the unique thing that makes Brusvin such a great running back is his ability to break off the first tackle and able to maneuver his body, get back into the cutback lanes, and find space. And so far tonight, when he has been met by one Spring Hill Bronco, another one has been a half step behind, and they just have not allowed him to break through at all. Just getting back to the line of scrimmage, make it 2nd and 15 now. Langford, quick throw, and behind his receiver, incomplete. Looking for Brown. As Todd Brown was coming, it looked like a slant route, and Langford just a little bit behind on the pass. Brown getting enough of it before it goes into the chest of the Spring Hill defender, and quickly the Chieftains find themselves behind. 3rd and long. Drops back, has a clean pocket, throws it up, and again, just miscommunication that time, looking in the direction of Brendan Briley. And another 3 and out on the night for Tonganoxie. So punt will be coming. No deep man back to return for Spring Hill as of yet. So it looks like they're going to try to pin their ears back and block the punt. And if it gets away, they'll just let it roll to wherever it may land. Punt is away, and another good one. Takes a nice Chieftain bounce near midfield, gets inside the 45 and dies out at the 44, and that is where the Spring Hill offense will come out and take over after scoring a touchdown on their last drive, 17-6. They lead the Tonganoxie Chieftains. Broncos looking to advance to 2-0 on the year. The Chieftains looking to avoid back-to-back seasons of 0-2 starts. Remember last year they had the opening loss 27-6 to Baser Linwood, and then in week 2 they went down to Lewisburg, and then that was a game where a lot of sloppy penalties and costly turnovers cost them that game. Let Lewisburg come back from an over 2-touchdown deficit, take the game into overtime. And the Chieftains lost a heartbreaker in week 2 that year. Still plenty of time left in this game, and only down by 11, and a good start to the defensive possession here for Tonganoxie. A loss of 1. One of the rare times that Draven Pipkin has been pushed back and not gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 11 coming up here. Another handoff. Pipkin fakes the pass, and it's amazing the power that this young man runs with. And literally whoever is the first red jersey to get near him and try to put their arms around, it's almost they just kind of do a spin just about. They try to wrap the arms around his waist, and it's hard to bring him down. Still, the cavalry arrives and holds them a fairly minimal game, called about a gain of 4, brings up 3rd and 7. And this Chieftain defense in the first half, solid on holding the Broncos, minimizing their damage on 3rd downs, looking to keep it going here. 3rd and 7, McCanna right side, stopped up, gets down right past midfield and about 3 yards shy of the marker. And let's see what Spring Hill elects to do here, and it looks like they're going to bring on the punting unit. Isaiah Holthouse credited with the stop, getting in there for the Chieftains. Number 70 for Spring Hill on the punted away. High booming punt. Takes a Chieftain bounce, and it will get near the 35, maybe calling it at the 34. Excuse me, the 24. That is where the Chieftain offense will take over. 6:41 left to go in the third quarter. 17-6 ball game here at Beatty Field and Tonganoxie High School. Don't forget, folks, next week we got a nice road trip ahead of us, about a near hour and a half, 2-hour drive for some, all the way down to Chanute. And Chanute, another great team in the 4A region and one of the top contenders in 4A. So that'll be an interesting and challenging matchup for the Chieftains next week. So we'll bring you that game live, as always, here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. First play of the drive for the Chieftains, handoff to Brewsvin. Again, I hate for the sound to sound like a broken record, but no gain on the play by Brewsvin. And it'll stay 2nd and 10. The offense taking their time, getting the play call, and now the offensive line will come set. Have not seen much of the Wildcat tonight either from the Chieftains. Langford, and this is the play that they missed earlier. This time connecting Isaiah. Now this is Brendan Briley. House call. Touchdown Chieftains. First time it was an overthrow to Isaiah Holthouse. This time Brendan Briley going right up the far sideline and into the end zone for a touchdown. 76 yards to the house. Second touchdown pass for Talon Langford. And that was the exact same play that the Chieftains failed to connect on earlier. And they will go for 2 here after having the extra point blocked the first time around. Brewsman, a low man in the backfield. Briley brought in motion, heading to the right side. Snap. Langford looking his way. Ball tipped up in the air. And it falls to the ground. Incomplete. So another touchdown and nothing more than that. It is a 17-12 ball game. Still a one-possession contest here at Beatty Field. 76 yards. Langford to Briley. Makes it a little tighter contest here as Spring Hill leads 17-12.
Whether you're an athlete looking to get back for another big win or you're just trying to win at life, Dr. Adam Ludwin at Win Chiropractic and Sports Therapy can get you back in the game. Dr. Adam has the tools and skills to have you feeling your best in no time with chiropractic adjustment, physical therapy, cupping, taping, muscle scraping, on-site x-ray, and more. Lose the pain and win the day at Win Chiropractic and Sports Therapy, now open in Tonganoxie. Book online at winchiropracticst.com or call 913-214-1020.
Back here after the break, 17-12 ball game after a 76-yard touchdown reception. Talon Langford to Brendan Briley. First touchdown reception of the year for Briley. And you got to give credit there to the play caller, and that's Preston Troyer, realizing that play almost worked for the Chieftains in the first half. It was overthrown to Isaiah Holthouse. That time seeing Spring Hill in a similar defense going back to the well, that time executing. Spring Hill trying to answer back with a solid return and tight roping that sideline, getting past the 30 and near the 35 before being shoved out of bounds. And now this Chieftain defense looking to come on and stop this Spring Hill offense, maybe force another 3 and out, try to keep that momentum in the Chieftain offense's corner. I did forget to mention earlier in the game, one player who is not suited up for tonight's game is the senior defensive and offensive lineman, number 63, Nathan Smith. And his overalls on the sideline did not suit up for tonight's game. Meanwhile, first play of the drive for the Broncos is a handoff to Pipkin as he picks up about 7 or 8. The Chieftains have had 2 touchdowns in this game, a blocked extra point and a failed 2-point conversion on the last one, as Pipkin will pick up the first down for Spring Hill. You would imagine if they can score a touchdown again while holding Spring Hill scoreless, it really doesn't matter. You got to imagine they'll be going for 2 again if they hit pay dirt. This time McKenna tries to switch directions and not going anywhere. Colton Brusvin getting back there, wrapping him down and throwing him down near the original line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Now McKenna hobbling off to the sideline, an apparent ankle injury. He was favoring that left foot and ankle area, but it's handed off to this guy. Pipkin bowling through defenders, finally pushed back right at the 50. Bring up 3rd and 6. So another about 3rd and medium for Spring Hill. Tongi defender slow to get up there, and that's Wyatt Harris, the senior. He's going to stay in there. Clock continues to run as we head towards 4 minutes left to play in the contest. Be sure, handoff, and the Chieftain defense, they were ready for it. And like we had talked about, the stunts and the blitzes that Coach Bond loves to run on defense, that time finally breaking through, an old Texas stunt. And a loss of a yard or 2, and the Chieftain defense stands strong. And now Spring Hill looking to punt this one away, and the Chieftain offense will get it back with a chance to potentially take the lead. They have not led in this game as of yet. We're down 10-0 early on. Now have battled into a close contest, 17-12. The snap is away and blocked! Colton Brusvin and picks it up. And the Chieftains, excellent effort play there. And you can feel the momentum really starting to shift here in the stands. And on the sideline, they are pumped up. And no better spot to be in if you're this Chieftain offense right now. They will take over in Bronco territory near the 40. We're going to call it a yard short at the 41. And Colton Brusvin, a man who has been exhausted the whole game, breaking through, taking the right angle to where either he blocked the punt and didn't touch the punter at all, instead gets a paw on it, and the Chieftains will take over. Back after this quick 30-second break here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Of Paws, now at their newly renovated location in downtown Tonganoxie, offers personalized pet grooming, doggy daycare, dog obedience, and socialization classes. At Wizard of Paws, your pet will get a one-on-one grooming experience, ensuring they return to you quickly and looking fabulous. And their new facility offers amenities and space that is doggone amazing. Call Wizard of Paws at 913-416-0255 or visit their new location at 406 East 4th Street in Tonganoxie. Learn more at wizardofpawspet.com.
Back after the quick break here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. Dylan Funk, thank you all for joining me tonight here in an excellent contest in Week 2, 17-12, between two Frontier League foes, Spring Hill and Tonganoxie. And the Chieftains, after Spring Hill opened the second half with a commanding drive, scoring a touchdown, going back up by 11. And Tonganoxie answers with a touchdown drive of their own. A couple 3-and-outs on the Chieftain defense, forcing the Broncos to punt it. Now a big run here. Colton Brusvin doing it himself. Touchdown, Chieftains. What a play. The Chieftains have the lead for the first time tonight. Playing through exhaustion and all, Colton Brusman finally breaking through the big run of the night. A 41-yard touchdown run for Colton Brusman. Chieftains lead 18-17, and as expected, 2-point try coming up here. And the Chieftains have stormed back in the second half. And all thanks to 1-6. Need to convert on this 2-point try. Now we have a whistle. No flags thrown. Didn't see a timeout either. And now we have a flag being dropped. So kind of the penalty on the Chiefs. I don't know if they called that illegal formation or not. Kind of unenthusiastically called by the head official there. So moving back 5 yards, and still no need to bring on the extra point unit with Jackson McWilliams. And the Chieftains still going to be going for 2 and backed up near the 10-yard line. Langford takes a snap, looking right side, looking to throw. He's going to heave it, and over the head, incomplete. Didn't like what he saw as he was looking for Holthouse, as Metcalf and number 35, Miles Bell, both in double coverage. But the Chieftains still have the lead, 3:04 in the third quarter, and back-to-back touchdown drives for the Chieftains, thanks to a 41-yard touchdown dash from Colton Brusman. The Chieftains have their first lead of the night, 18-17. Back after this on Tonganoxie Sports Live, your home for Chieftain Athletics.
Get back in the game with Physical Therapy Solutions in Tonganoxie. As a state-of-the-art outpatient physical therapy clinic, Physical Therapy Solutions will develop a plan of care to help you move, reduce pain, restore function, and prevent disability. Physical Therapy Solutions takes great pride in delivering current, quality-driven treatments. And now get occupational therapy in the office or at home on an outpatient basis. Call 913-417-7400 or visit ptsolutionsks.com.
An action-packed third quarter so far, 3:04 left to go. 3 total touchdowns. The opening drive touchdown for Spring Hill to start the third quarter, and now back-to-back touchdown drives for the Chieftains, capped off by a 41-yard touchdown run. And now muff punt, and do the Chieftains get down there? They're saying they have it, and they do! Oh my goodness! And that is why you do the pooch kicks. For that reason right there. And the turnover bug finding its way around a muff punt by the Chieftains earlier in the game, and now finding its way over to Spring Hill. And the Broncos are just coming apart by the seams over there. Bunch of infuriated coaches. Meanwhile, Chieftains will take over again, this time inside the 30 at the 28. And let's see what this offense draws up here. Messersmith in motion, going to the left side. Brusman got it back. And maybe the running game with Colton Brusman starting to find its stride. Broke through in his last carry, and that time, even though minimal, still breaking through for about 2 or 3 yards, where through the whole game he's been pretty fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Under 2:20 now left to go. Messersmith in motion once again. Handoff. Brusman hitting the hole hard. Hit hard. and stumbles forward, gets closer to that first down marker. First man to make contact, Noah Anderton for the Broncos. And a third and manageable coming up here for Tonganoxie. Third down and 3 coming up officially. Chieftains looking to keep this drive alive, take their time, let that clock run down, and if you can cap it off with a touchdown, that would be just about ideal for this squad right now. Sticking with the running game, Brusvin, and he's not going to get there. Held right at the line of scrimmage. And let's see what the Chieftains would like to do here. I think I like the idea of them going for it here. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go for it. A heavy package getting checked in here now with Wyatt Harris and Isaiah Holthouse checking in. Brendan Briley out there as well. Brusvin, the lone man in the backfield with Langford. Tight formation on the right side of the line. Loaded up, and that's where they're going to run it. And Spring Hill, they're ready for it. And Chieftains can't quite take advantage of the Spring Hill turnover of the muff punt. And with 53 seconds left, Spring Hill will take over on downs. And a tough decision there for the Chieftains. Finally breaking through on the last drive, the touchdown run for Colton Brusvin. And this time he got close but just didn't get enough. Even with the loaded right side of the line, he needed about 3. Instead, lost about a yard or 2. So out come the Broncos on offense once again. Draven Pipkin and company having plenty of time to sit on the sideline with fresh legs and try to answer back here as they find themselves down for the first time. And Pipkin, angry runs there as he knocked down, lowered the shoulder into the first man he saw. One was Connor Cole and the other one was Cale Dye, number 45. It's like a solid shoulder right to the chest there. Just again, Pipkin, that's a big boy out there running. 2nd and 4. Throwing it down the field, has a man, and can't make the over-the-shoulder catch. Incomplete. Brendan Briley in coverage over there. Another third down looming for the Bronco offense. Looking for another stop here. And they get it. I think they might have got him behind the line of scrimmage. If not, he got right back to it. And what do I know? They're actually going to say he picked up a yard, but nevertheless, another 4th down. And McKenna, again, hurt. Hobbling on that left foot. Forcer up here at Beatty Field. 18-17, Chieftains have the lead. We have a classic coming down here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. You do not want to miss it. We'll see you on the other side.
Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
The same look and location of a classic drugstore with the services and supplies of a modern pharmacy. That's what you'll find at the Downtown Drug Store in Tonganoxie. Of course, Downtown Drug is the local choice for your prescriptions and health needs, but did you know they have the best selection of Tonganoxie Pride and Chieftain game day gear in town? And a whole lot more. Cards, gifts, home decor, and even the best way to satisfy that sweet tooth. The Downtown Drug Store. Call 913-369-3800 or visit them online at thedowntowndrugstore.com.
Back here on Tonganoxie Sports Live, Dylan Funk, and we are heading down to an exciting conclusion here. 4th quarter ready to roll. And the Chieftain defense once again holding the Broncos on third down, forcing them to punt. And 4th and 3. I'd still be cautious maybe about a fake here. The snap is back, and it is away. Low liner, Briley back to return, and he's going to Peter as it rolls out, bounces right at the 42 and goes out of bounds laterally over to the Spring Hill sideline. So, again, great field position for the Chieftains as they'll take over here. 11:52 in the fourth, 18-17, a 1-point lead for the Chieftains. Have been battling from behind, and the majority of this game finally took their lead after a big 41-yard touchdown run from Colton Brusman, who has been bottled up pretty much for the rest of the night outside of that one run. But he is still going out there. And we should also mention on that drive that gave the Chieftains great field position for the touchdown scamper, a blocked punt set the Chieftains up in Broncos territory by none other than Colton Brusman. So he really did it himself on back-to-back plays, gave the Chieftains the lead. The Chieftains start out, screen pass over to Holthouse, and makes a couple-man miss, makes another miss, and tumbles forward head first, somersault down near the 40, and the Chieftains are already in Bronco territory. Great start there. And you can really see the confidence of Talon Langford in the backfield really starting to grow. With each throw he makes and each completion he makes, he just gets more and more confidence under his belt. Looking to keep it going. Calls for the snap. Well, it looked like a little bit of an Oregon slip on that play, and call it a loss of 1 yard on the play. So while the run defense, or the run offense, has been, for the majority, very dismal for the Chieftains tonight, their passing game, it seems to be their way of life so far tonight. See if they keep it going here. If Little T has a play dialed up that can catch his Bronco defense off guard. And another handoff up the middle. Again, not going anywhere. First man there, number 58, Riley Frank. And the Chieftains are going backwards again. Back to the 46 now. So obvious passing down here for sure. Be about 3rd and 14. Chieftains need to capitalize on one of these offensive drives and try to expand that lead a little bit. Langford takes the snap, feels the pressure, hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. Looking for Brendan Briley over on the right side near the 30. And 3 Broncos in the area. And the Chieftains again will be forced to punt. So a great start after slinging it out to Isaiah Holthouse and letting him break some tackles and run up to the Bronco 40. Chieftains go back-to-back plays backwards and an incomplete pass. Brings up 4th and 15. Return man back at the 5-yard line for Spring Hill. Langford, low liner, rolling, and good punt. Young man dies out inside the 5. Talon Langford getting it done with his arm at times tonight, but also getting it done with his foot as well. And the Broncos defense can have a lot of the field to march down. 9:53 left to go as they trail by 1. Chieftains looking to pick up their first win of the year. And in a game last week where they were a play or two away, a stopper here or there away from pulling off the upset against arch rivals Basehor Linwood. It'd be really sweet if they can hold on to this lead tonight and pull off the victory against the defending Frontier League champion Spring Hill Broncos. First play of the game. First play of the drive, I should say. Handoff to Pipkin and a minimal gain, maybe about 2 or 3. Broncos making their substitutions and still trying to keep an eye out for McKenna, who past couple drives he has headed over to the Spring Hill sideline and aggravating left foot, left ankle injury. Haven't seen much of him, but we've seen plenty of this guy. Pipkin taking the handoff again, churning upfield, picks up another 4 or 5 yards, make it 3rd and short. Jack Messersmith in on the tackle. Jack Messersmith, the linebacker, senior linebacker that is helping anchor a salty defensive front for the Chieftains. 28 tackles last season, including 9 solo tackles. And now this one, the 3rd down has just been the kryptonite for the Broncos so far tonight. Completion or conversion rate well below 50%. And when they have converted on them, though, they usually have gone down and scored some points off of them. But and tip your cap to the Chieftain defense as they are doing their part in hanging on to this 1-point lead. As we approach 8 minutes left to play. Nobody is back deep for the Chieftains right now. Punter for Spring Hill is at the goal line. And it's low. It's on the ground. And, no man's land. And safety. Just what the Chieftains needed there. And Spring Hill, a 3rd quarter and start of the 4th quarter to just forget here as they have imploded. Their offense has been in a rut after the touchdown drive, and now special teams mishandling the snap, the punter, and tried to run out of it. I think maybe you advise them just try to squib it and get it out of the end zone, but instead holds on to it. Chieftains rally for a safety. It is now a 20-17 ball game. And now we have finally arrived at a 3-point contest here. And Chieftain special teams have done their part tonight. And we talk about the game of football. It is a game of all 3 phases: offense, defense, and yes, even special teams. And while we have seen the Chieftains struggle when it comes to the extra points, one being blocked, and then the 2-point conversions they've tried to go to have all been unsuccessful. You turn around to the block punt, and Colton Bruisman had to set up his touchdown run on the very next play. You had the safety right there. And also give credit to Talon Langford, where his first couple of punts weren't the prettiest. He has really gotten a hold of them. And again, and that drive, right there alone, that offensive possession for Spring Hill setting up inside the 5-yard line thanks to a beautiful punt by Langford. So Chieftain special teams even doing their part. Now Spring Hill will kick it away from the 20-yard line. Briley back to receive along with Tanner Hand and Todd Brown. Broncos have found themselves up by double digits in this game to now down by 3. Under 8 minutes left to play in the 4th. This one is booted away and off a couple bounces, and Hand will pick it up, and he's going to bring it across the 30, getting near the 35, gets across and down at the 36, and that is where the Chieftain offense will take over. So this is a part in the game where the Chieftains would just love to run the ball, and if they could get anything like they had last week, again, averaging about Bruisman, when he would run the ball, averaged about 7 yards a carry. Pankey averaging about 5 yards himself, which any of that, of course, will always do. If you average at least 4 yards a carry on each and every run, you're going to be very successful as an offense, and that Preston Troyer company would just love to play tough man football here and just run this ball out. Instead, Quick pass out to Brown, tries to break one tackle, spun around and brought down right at the 40. And quickly wrapping him up there was James Newton. Chieftains still sticking with the passing game, a 3-yard gain there. Clock continues to run. I think that's got to be the key here for the Chieftains. Try to march down, but keep this clock running and put this game away. This clock will now be under 6 minutes after this play. Langford and deflected at the line and incomplete, and they were trying that play once again, faking the screen pass and trying to throw it downfield. Briley was streaking down. Newton, a little better heads-up play that time, sticking with him, and the pass was deflected at the line of scrimmage, falls harmlessly to the turf, and now bring up 3rd and 7. Tanner Hand checks in. Todd Brown will come out. The 2-back set for the Chieftains. Holthouse, the receiver up there at the top of your screen, and he'll be joined out there by Brendan Briley. 2 receivers out to the right side. 2-back set, handoff, Bruisman. Taking it, scampers, and inside, getting near the edge of that Tongi logo. Mark him short. It'll be 4th down, and call it about 4th and 5, 4th and 4. And Chieftains electing to punt. Wise decision here. Langford gets this one away. Another Chieftain bounce, stays in play inside the 25. Now let's see what this Bronco offense can do here. Back in 30 seconds here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Has your furnace left you out in the cold? Pipes plugged? Are you underwater with your water heater? If so, you'll be glad you called Ladd. Ladd Service Company in Tonganoxie has been your heating, cooling, and plumbing specialist since 1986. Ladd is your dealer for top quality brands like York, Aprilaire, and Wolverine Brass. Plus, they maintain and service all other brands. Schedule your appointment by calling 913-369-3509.
Ready to resume action here. Spring Hill taking the pass. Beshore rolling out and fighting his big tight end and immediately hit and brought down solid. That was Brendan Briley coming in. Pass was out to Jackson Torres. Solid game, about 5. And now Spring Hill showing a little sense of urgency here. Under 6 minutes left to play and down by 3. Chieftains looking for another big stop here. Pipkin makes Holthouse miss. Gets near that 1st down marker. I think they're going to call him a yard short. Now bring up 3rd and 1. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. Here's the play, 3rd and short, Pipkin, and he'll pick it up, but not much more. Called down at the 38. So now you got to think, if you're Spring Hill, this is probably the drive you got to try to capitalize on, get down and score, because if you are forced to punt again to the Chieftains, really put a dent in the comeback odds. Beshore looking to pass again, open and incomplete, rolling out to the right side, and again was looking for Torres, and good defense. Talon Langford, the quarterback for the Chieftains, on the defense area, and they got a fingertip or 2 on that, deflecting it out of bounds and out of play. Brings up 2nd and 10. Clock stops, 4:56 left, under 5 minutes left to play in a 3-point contest, 20-17. Beshore looking to pass again, clean pocket, and again offline, incomplete. Holthouse came pretty close to deflecting that at the line of scrimmage. Bryce Kirchner, the intended receiver for Spring Hill. So now back-to-back incompletions bring up 3rd and 10. Connor Cole will get checked out on that defensive line, get some fresh pass rushers in there with Holthaus. Over on the other side, Tucker McGuire, the ends. And Logan Schmidt in the middle, and here they come. Rushing out, Be Short, trying to get along that edge, and he does. Flicks it down the field, completes the pass. It is still short. And tip your cap there. But a flag, and it's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield. And if you have been a listener of the past 2 years at Tonganoxie Sports Live, you know how I feel about that penalty. But nevertheless, a penalty is a penalty. And let's see what the Chieftains will elect to do, because if they decline, it'll be about 4th and 3. I think they're going to accept, and we're going to replay 3rd down. And on that last play, really good job. Tyson Beshore was rolling out, feeling the pressure. Tucker McGuire almost had him, just got out of his reach. And again, like what Spring Hill sees in this young man is his ability to roll down the field and keep his eyes downfield. And almost pulled off the miraculous pass there. And now we have a sideline warning on the Chieftains. So even though a flag was thrown, it was just a warning. Now the next time, if they do have to call that, it will cost some serious yardage for the Chieftains. So got to be mindful there. Everyone staying back on the white portion of the sideline turf. 3rd and 15. Biggest play of the game so far here for either team. Play clock now under 4 minutes. Be Shore rolling out. Holthaus hot on his trail and brings him down. Not sure if that'll qualify for a sack or not. I think he broke the line of scrimmage, and they'll say he did go forward about another yard. So unfortunately not a sack, but nevertheless, 4th and 14 coming up, and the Broncos will have to punt as we approach 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here in the 4th quarter. Nobody back to return for Tonganoxie. Bruisman almost coming up with another block, and the Chieftains are just going to let it roll. It gets down inside the 40. And Chieftains will take over right around the 38. So now for the Chieftain offense, this is a key drive here. 3 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock, a 3-point lead, 20-17. You got to find a way to at least get a 3rd down. You cannot afford a 3-and-out here on this drive. And if it's the quick throws to the receivers, the little out screens that's been working, then keep going. Chieftains with a chance to slam the door and pick up their first win of the Preston Troyer era, and they start with the handoff. Bruisman. And picks up maybe a yard. And I think we have a timeout here. I believe it was Spring Hill that burned a timeout. Trying to preserve some clock here. 3:02 left in the 4th quarter. Tonganoxie a 3-point lead over the defending Frontier League champion Spring Hill Broncos.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to S&S Body Shop in Tonganoxie. S&S has been the area's premier auto collision repair center since 1972, working on all makes and models, glass replacement, bumper repair, fiberglass and plastic, color matching, and more. Plus, they work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at S&SAutoandBody.com or call 913-369-3193.
Back at it here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. 3:02 left to go. 2nd and 8 upcoming here for the Chieftain offense. Snap is away, and the Chieftains keep it on the ground. This time, a little bit of headroom, and there he goes! Colton Brusman, one man to beat. Can't bring him down. Touchdown, Chieftains, and that could be the knockout blow. His 2nd touchdown run of the night. None bigger than that one right there. A chance to make it a 10-point ball game with the extra point. Bring on Jackson McWilliams, who has been a busy man himself. Last night playing Tonganoxie soccer, was the goalkeeper, and they came on in the final 4 minutes and scored a hat trick in 60 seconds, a.k.a. 3 goals in 60 seconds last night. Now looking to make it a double-digit lead here for the Chieftains. Snap is hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. And the star junior kicker makes it a double-digit lead for the Chieftains. Another 50-plus yard run from Colton Brusman, and the Chieftains just might have put this game on ice. We'll have the final 2:51 left on the other side of the break here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
So Notch, one touchdown run of 41 yards. The second one going for 61 yards to the house. Colton Brusman, without a doubt, the Chieftains can hold on here. Prime candidate for player of the game here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. McWilliams, another pooch kick on the way. This time, fair catch is called for, and the Broncos will be pinned down at the 25. What has been so crazy is that maybe, I know there's probably been plenty of people watching this game that have been screaming at the television and said, why do you keep running the ball? It's not working. Try throwing it, air it out. And for the most part, you're right. The running game hasn't been up to what we're used to seeing from the Chieftains. However, the two that really counted, a 61-yard house call and a 41-yard house call, both from Colton Brusman, getting the job done. It is a 27-17 ball game. Earlier in the third, it was a 17-6 ball game. This one thrown out near the far sideline. I'll cut back up and picking up the first down and more past the 40. Now the scoreboard chants are breaking out against Spring Hill. Is going to have to score quick here and then recover an onside kick if they want any chance. Fake the jet sweep. Rolling out, be sure. Looking for options. Just going to take it himself and just getting past the line of scrimmage before getting out of bounds. And again, we talk about this Chieftain team and the heart and the grit that they have, and even dating back to last season where they had a subpar 500 record overall, 500 record in the regular season. But even in those losses, there weren't really many blowouts, and this team really fought hard to the end as a screen pass. McKenna trying to break it loose. Up pass into Chieftain territory and past the 40 and out of bounds at the 39. So now Spring Hill might be in some business here. 2:13 left to play. Well, we could talk about how much this Chieftain team has fought hard and come back in this game. Still got to close out this final 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Even with a 10-point lead, still plenty of time for Spring Hill here. Looking to keep it going. Be sure. Looking. Feeling the pressure. And sacked. Huge sack. Diving out. Wrapping him up. Braden Folsom, second sack of the game for the junior. And none bigger than that one. Big loss. About 11 or 12-yard loss. And the Chieftains are going to be forced to burn a timeout. They were trying to make substitutions, and they had too many men on the field. Got to call a timeout there, get the team situated. .147 left in the contest. A big second sack of the game for Braden Folsom, who is really broken out in this game. And with the missing absence of Nathan Smith, who dealt with his fair share of injuries last season as well, but we really saw him come on about the final 3 or 4 games, and even in that Bishop Miege playoff game, had some big tackle for losses, had some big quarterback pressures, and even a sack. Had some pretty big expectations for him coming into the year, and now we see playing in week 1 and then coming out this week, not suiting up, but it looks like Braden Folsom getting out there, and the 6'4", 191-pound junior making the most of it right now and coming up clutch for his team. Call it 2nd and 22 coming up here for the Broncos. Well, let's see what Spring Hill has drawn up here. Defenders back for the Chieftains. Holthouse coming around, making B-Shore step up and dumps it off short. And hammered. Luke Metcalf holding on to that ball. Knocked down at the 45. Got to hustle here. Clock continues to run. 1:30 now. And Spring Hill with 2 timeouts and Tonganoxie with 2 timeouts. But Spring Hill trying to hold on to those timeouts as long as they can. A lot of time burning off here. 1:20 when the snap is off. A heave down the field. And a man and out of reach. Incomplete. Defender down the field, Noah Bailey, number 85, kept in close proximity, as I believe that was Luke Metcalf again. And this is the ball game right here. And prevent defense as Holthouse, Harris, Langford, and Briley will all go back. I say they're initially going back to the goal line, but they got to get up near the 30 where the original first down marker is. Spring Hill needs about 16 yards on this play to keep it going. And here's the snap. Be sure. And he's going to try to run it, and he'll get there. Picking it up with his leg, so the prevent defense not working out quite like the Chieftains would have preferred. There's pressure around the edges, forced Be Sure to step up, rolling out to the right side, had nothing but green grass ahead of him. As he runs down past the first down marker and scampers out of bounds, stopping the clock, 1:06. But Spring Hill still needs a score here. Chieftain defense looking to hang tough, shut the door on him. Holthouse in pursuit from behind. Be Sure throws, completes, and out of bounds for Jackson Torres. So don't turn out the lights just yet. Exactly 1 minute left. And this game is not over. Spring Hill taking their time, getting the play call. And here he goes, a throw for the end zone. And over the head of his receiver and out of play, incomplete. Looking down the field for his intended receiver, as that is number 85, K. Johnson. about the right play, what you want to do there. If you're be sure, either have your guy catch it or put it in a place where nobody will catch it at all. 2nd and 10, 55 seconds. Be sure looking, dumps off short. And about a medium gain here. Torres again. And Spring Hill will burn another timeout. They will have one more remaining. And we will step away, a quick 30-second break. Final 47 seconds left here. Tonganoxie 27, Spring Hill 17. We have a classic coming down to the wire here on Tonganoxie Sports Live.
Midwest Chiropractic Center in Tonganoxie, Lansing, and Bonner Springs is ready to get you back to being the active, energetic person you want to be. Dr. Robert Shook and Dr. Daniel Haugen at Midwest Chiropractic offer caring, high-quality, and comprehensive care, including chiropractic care, acupuncture, and school and DOT physicals. Now offering Saturday appointments in Bonner Springs and Tonganoxie to better serve you. To schedule your appointment, call 913-369-0022 or visit them at mwchiropractic.com.
Now the Chieftain crowd trying to get riled up in here. Again, a great show out for the home opener for the Chieftains, and they have been gifted with an excellent ball game. 27-17, a Frontier League clash between the Chieftains and the Broncos. 47 seconds remain. Broncos inside the red zone looking to score here. Be sure, throw for the end zone, and caught. And a touchdown, Cooper to Albany. So not over quite yet. Spring Hill will go for the extra point. And it's going to come down to who can recover the onside kick. This is big here. Low snap, but it's up and good. It is now a 3-point ball game, 27-24. Hands team coming on the field for the Chieftains, and if Tonga can just recover the onside kick, Spring Hill with only one timeout, the Chieftains can recover. That will seal the ball game and the first victory of the Preston Troyer era here at Tonganoxie High School. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Again, just want to thank all of our sponsors and everybody for making this all possible, including our presenting sponsor, Kansas Insurance, for the 3rd year in the row. A game where the Broncos led by more than double digits and then found themselves down by 10, but now a touchdown and extra point on that last drive that takes the play clock down to under a minute. 40.7 seconds remain, and it's a 3-point contest. And they are teeing up the football sideways on the tee, and they're going to look to try to make it bounce anyway. And this is the hands team, so these are the guys that are brought on for onside kicks, and these are supposed to be the guys that have the sturdiest hands on the team. And here's the kick. And the Chieftains successfully recover, and that will do it. Victory formation, and the Chieftains earned this one without a doubt. And talking about the key losses from last week, your starting quarterback and your potential breakout offensive star going down just a few quarters apart in the opening week. You come into this one not knowing exactly who your quarterback's going to be. You stick Talon Langford in there, his first reps at quarterbacks ever at the high school varsity level, and he will get the honors victory formation. And I think Spring Hill will call their final timeout, so not wanting to just wave the white flag quite yet. But it does not matter, because at this next snap, the Broncos are out of timeout, so the clock will run down to 000, and the Chieftains recover after a tough, heartbreaking loss last week to Baser Linwood. Come back from double digits down to the defending 4A champ, not 4A champs, Frontier League champs, I should say, in Spring Hill. And a gutsy signature Tonganoxie victory here tonight. And the best part of it all is we actually had great Wi-Fi, so everyone was able to watch it back at home. One final snap, and that'll do it for tonight. And the players will head to the 50-yard line, and that will do it. The Chieftains earn their first victory of the 2022 campaign, a 27-24 victory over the Spring Hill Broncos, and the Chieftains defending the home turf tonight. And doing it in the support of their starting quarterback, who had surgery on his collarbone, officially ruled out for the season. He showed up tonight supporting his team. And as far as Tyler Pankey and the knee injury, out indefinitely. Don't know when we will see him back in a Chieftain uniform as of right now. But a great victory for the Chieftains tonight. And I guess this win is brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. And the signature Chieftains will come around and will tip the cap to the student section and all the fans that showed up for their support. And, of course, for the band. A great win for the Chieftains tonight. It's a good night to be a Tonganoxie Chieftain. Wish you were here for it, partner. What a good one. And just a highly optimistic feeling here at Beatty Field. We're going to take a break here. We're going to see if we get Preston Troyer up for a post-game interview. If not, we'll go over our game recap, and then we'll preview next week's matchup against Chanute on the other side of the break here on Tonganoxie Sports Live. What a scene.
On the field, awesome. An awesome collision on the road, not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to S&S Body Shop in Tonganoxie. S&S has been the area's premier auto collision repair center since 1972, working on all makes and models, glass replacement, bumper repair, fiberglass and plastic, color matching, and more. Plus, they work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back game. Learn more at S&S Auto or call 913-369-3193. For a winning team, contact White Birch Properties, the real estate MVPs.
Shop local and save at Brothers Market in Tonganoxie, where we treat you like family. Brothers Market has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy fresh cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need. From apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Brothers Market, open daily. Learn more at shopbrothersmarket.com.
Wizard of Paws, now at their newly renovated location in downtown Tonganoxie, offers personalized pet grooming, doggy daycare, dog obedience, and socialization classes. At Wizard of Paws, your pet will get a one-on-one grooming experience, ensuring they return to you quickly and looking fabulous. And their new facility offers amenities and space that is doggone amazing. Call Wizard of Paws at 913-416-0255 or visit their new location at 406 East 4th Street in Tonganoxie. Learn more at wizardofpawspet.com.
With the First State Bank and Trust mobile app, you can bank from anywhere. Check your balance while you're waiting in line here, or transfer funds while you're here. Forget to pay that bill? Pay it from here. Don't cut your visit short to go to the bank. Make your deposit from here. And remember, you're always welcome to bank right here. Did you know First State Bank and Trust has donated over $112,000 to Tonganoxie schools? Every time you swipe your Tonganoxie Chieftain debit card, we donate. For more information, visit us at firststateks.com. Member FDIC.
Exuberation here at Beatty Field, Tonganoxie High School. Dylan Funk again. An exciting contest tonight. 27-24, a final. An exciting game. The Chieftains coming from behind, snatching. Goodness, I'm just about out of breath. Just about. I mean, what a game indeed. Again, we're waiting for Preston Troyer. I'm waiting to see if he's going to come up and do an interview. He's definitely going around. He is enjoying this victory with his former coaches. And, yeah, here he is. He get the headset hooked up. And we will talk. All right, here, head coach Preston Troyer. Go ahead and slip that on. You hear me all right, Coach?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Yeah, we can hear you great as well. This was a team effort tonight, but real quick, I just want to I know you don't like to be the selfish person, but how does it feel to just pick up that first victory with the head coach title next to your name in the program?
Any win for this team feels great. So, I'll take it wherever I can get it. So
absolutely. Maybe, not the prettiest of ways to pick up victories, but one thing without a doubt, your team came through when they needed to, especially Colton Bruisman. Just talk me through what did you see from him tonight and kind of how he struggled most of the night with running the ball, but when he broke through, a 61-yard touchdown run and 41 yards, those two big scores.
So we knew early that they were stacking the box. What people don't see is Isaiah's catches were what was crucial. So what happened was we started throwing those deep balls to Isaiah. Those safeties move out of the box. And as soon as that happened, I told Bruisman, I was like, you just need one block, and he's gone, and you're gone. And it happened 2 times. He got loose in the second half, and that was the difference in the game right there.
Absolutely. So that was something that was kind of scheming as the game went along, making adjustments.
They had to double Isaiah, and so when that happens, that leaves there's no safety in the middle of the field. So I knew if we could get a linebacker one time, he is fast enough, and he was going to be gone. And then when he was gone, he was gone. So
yeah. And now I want to switch focus to the quarterback. Obviously, Trevor McGraw, broken collarbone, not expected back again this year. Noah Carlton got the snaps against Basin Linwood last week. This week you come out, Talon Langford. Just take us through the process this past week. Did you have a competition?
Yeah, we did, and we split both of them. And Noah did a great job against Baser, and he had a great week of practice. He was right there. We made the call, and I wanted to give the young guy confidence, and so we were going to stick with it. And I knew we saw the talent that he has. He's a good baseball player. He can sling the ball. He's got a strong arm. You could see once he's got there was a few nervous throws there early, and then once he got going. You saw what he can do, and he's going to get better each week, and he's going to be special, and he's going to help us, as we go on this run.
So is it Langford expected to be the starting quarterback?
Yeah, he'll be the starting quarterback going forward.
Awesome, real good. Previewing this matchup again, Chanute on the road, first time meeting in the regular season with them in quite some time. 28-13 over Pittsburgh tonight. Just early comments on the Blue Comets.
Oh, they're athletic. They won pretty much every track event you could think of last May, and they're fast. They got a good running back. They got some receivers. They got a tight end type defensive end that's getting some D2, D1 looks. He's a stud. So we got to have our hands full. But hey, we scheduled the best because we want to be the best, and so we're going to go down there and get. These kids are going to. You've seen the last 2 weeks. These kids are going to fight and give it everything they have. So we're going to go down there and give them everything we got.
That's why I call it tonight. It's a signature Tonganoxie win.
It was.
It just gutted it out all the way to the end, never giving up. And they earned this one tonight, as you did too, Coach. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Go enjoy this one.
All right, I appreciate it.
And we'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you.
Awesome. That was Preston Troyer, the head coach of the Tonganoxie Chieftains, coming up. Post-game interview. Thank you again to him taking the time out of celebrating his first official win as the head coach of the Tonganoxie Chieftains. And what a special one it was. And you heard it right there. A matchup with the Blue Comets next week of Chanute at Chanute. Yeah, if you can't make the drive down there, it's a wide one, an hour and a half, 2 hours, just depending on where you live in the area. If you can't make it down for that game, we'll be down there. Tonganoxie Sports Live. We will be live. And, yes, we are anticipating better Wi-Fi. That will be the running joke from the rest of the season. But enough about that. Again, this team tonight, player of the game without a doubt, Colton Bruisman. I think it's got to be, and like you heard Little T talking about there, Spring Hill stacking the boxes a little bit with the safeties, so they used Isaiah Holthouse, the quick passes to him. Todd Brown even throughout the game, they used that, making the adjustments on the fly and really setting up, Brusman for those 2 big touchdown runs. Great. That's just the sign of a great coach making adjustments as the game goes along. And like we said, the Chieftains earned this one tonight, 27-24. Over 100 rushing yards for Colton Brusman, 2 touchdowns again. That one, 61 yards and 41 yards, and a block punt that set up the 41-yard touchdown run. The Chieftains held a 10-point lead majority to the end of the fourth quarter. They gave up the late touchdown. DM made it a 3-point contest, recovered the onside kick, victory formation, 3 plays, and a victory for the Chieftains. Moved to 1-1 on the year, and they will move on next week to face the 2-0 Chanute Blue Comets. Going to be an excellent matchup down there. So we are going to sign off here from the press box in Beatty Field. Alongside everybody here at the Harris Media Services, I'm Dylan Funk saying good night. Enjoy the football this weekend. Go Chiefs on Sunday, and we will see you next Friday in Chanute. My partner Dennis Drennan, he will be back as well, and we will see you all then. Enjoy the weekend.
You've been watching Tonganoxie High School Athletics on your new home for the Chieftains, Tonganoxie Sports Live. Tonganoxie Sports Live is presented by Kansas Insurance, locally owned and operated. Learn more at kansasins.com. Also by watching, and be sure to catch every second of the action right here on your home for the Chieftains, Tonganoxie Sports Live.